I've talked to a lot of people about the show this week that are just like,
I know,
hey,
I have too.
I watched the show. Hey, why don't you respond to our questions faster? Like,
yeah. That was a big one that I heard this week was people would like us to answer the questions.
Like, could you promptly answer my question on the show?
You really should do better than that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I stink. And people have come up to me like, hey, I listened to the show.
Really?
And that I never even knew did. So
sweet.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got Sam Swanson today. We'll play the intro and then we'll get started with Sam.
Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. Come fill your time, this pot's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail. Upstate New York, every episode I tell. Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. It's rare.
All right, everybody, welcome Sam Swanson.
Hey there, guys. How y'all doing? Science.
How?
Sam had to have his mask
It's all
on.
about science.
I don't know if you were on
so
camera
nice
for
to
that,
see
unfortunately.
I can't remember the last time I saw you. It's been that
I think
long.
it cut to me. And I go like, don't cut to me.
I feel like maybe Crooked Tusker?
Was it that long? Was
I
it
remember.
with Bill?
Yeah, I think it was with you.
Yeah.
It was Crooked
You two
Tusker.
together.
Did I request the pony song?
Yes, you always request the pony song. Yes.
I love when you do the pony song.
like the
You're not
genuine
the only one who loves
pony.
that song.
Yeah,
Oh god.
it's great.
He doesn't dance like Channing Tatum.
He should start.
Oh.
More ladies there.
Oh yeah, I should probably put these on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way you can hear when nobody can hear you.
There you go.
There we go.
You gotta make sure you're close enough
Thanks
for
for
the
the
mic.
coffee.
Oh, good morning. If you want to put the coffee
yeah.
in this guy.
It's like a recording studio, right? I think maybe. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
Totes.
is this what it's like? Like, what's a recording booth like?
Well, it kind of depends on your budget.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I mean, I've been in recording studios that have a real booth, and then I've been in, somebody's bedroom in an apartment where that's my booth is the closet.
Really?
Wow. Oh yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Okay.
I've recorded
Wow.
albums, in a closet, like singing in a closet. Yeah.
That's
Very
insane.
cool.
Where does this fall? Where does our studio fall on that spectrum?
Much nicer than a fair amount of the DIY studios I've been in, I think. I mean, this is very high tech compared to, I used to be a podcaster from like 2013 to 2016. So, I mean, I did everything a lot differently. You guys obviously do it live.
You're an OG.
You were
Yeah.
doing it before it was cool.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've never been cool.
Are those
not
shows
true.
still out there?
They are.
What's
yeah.
it called? Should we go listen to it? And would you be embarrassed or would you be
just preface
proud?
and little disclaimer, it's just thinking out loud, so a lot of it was just I interviewed a lot of researchers on a lot of kind of fringy topics. So
Ooh.
okay?
That's
what
pretty cool.
kind of topics?
Eugenics,
Oh,
war, the Federal Reserve.
Oh, this sounds so much fun.
Sounds awesome.
9/11.
What is it?
Oh,
What is it?
9/11.
That would be cool.
Vaccines, all kinds of just to get the other side of the story. You know what I
Very
mean?
Cool.
Wow.
Just to kind of do that and be able to ask hard questions too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I love it.
So I don't know. I think people should try to understand all sides of something.
Dare
if they can.
people be more
Mhm.
open? That's a far concept.
So something real quick that I know, you probably don't even know we're Facebook buddies because you follow my distillery, Barrington Distillers.
Yeah.
So
It's Jesse.
I see the music videos.
You do.
Do you like do those? Are those your like ideas?
They're all my ideas, but
Those
I
are
have
cool.
friends who all film them and most of them edit them for me as well. But yeah, they're like I script them most of the time.
Huh.
So
So,
cool.
Have you ever seen one?
Yeah,
They're pretty sweet.
I actually have one that I wanted to show
Oh, let's do
today.
it.
Oh, maybe
Should
I
we
brought
leave-
it up too early.
Should we leave right off with it, or is it
Sure.
okay if we
Yeah,
show it?
do it.
Or do you wanna-
Let's intro. Let's intro.
Yeah, we
Sam
should talk
bit.
a
little
little
bit more
first.
Yeah.
First, I want to bring you guys some presents. So,
Oh,
so it's-
cool.
It's a Christmas time, So there's a vinyl record and a
Man.
CD and a poster.
Neat.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
sweet.
Yeah.
Look at
So
this.
Oh, can I
So
have
that's-
all of these?
Phil's gonna love this. he's gonna.
We should play
love
this
this.
at the wine bar.
Oh, you have? You
I
can?
do.
Yeah, you got a record
Yeah,
player.
you
We
do.
can
Yeah,
have,
I do have a record
Have
player.
it
You
for
were
vinyl
one
night.
of my
Pretty
first
sweet.
like gigs. You know
So-
that
Pretty
like
neat.
when I first started gigging out.
So
like,
here's my thing is that Sam, I don't know how I stumbled upon you, but I'm like, you know what, you should, or maybe you reached out to me. No.
You emailed me. I'm pretty sure.
You came to me and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
yes, you came to me at the wine bar and you're like, hey, this is my gig. And usually when people come up to me, I'm usually like, I don't really want to deal with this. But for
Yeah,
some
yeah.
reason, you and I had like,
Check
we
this.
connected really, really good, really, really well. And you performed at the wine bar when, I don't know, it was a few years ago. And I was like, holy shit, you're really, really good.
Thank you.
And then you came up afterwards, and then it sounded like you and I had a very similar personal
our
history.
stories.
Like both
we
both our
were
spouses,
going through some
Pretty
crazy stuff.
right. Both
Yeah.
our spouses left us,
bad.
and once you hear
Well-
that from somebody else, you're like, oh, we can actually talk and listen to each other and understand, because you have two beautiful kids.
And you have one boot.
a beautiful child, and it was just so nice. And whenever I like people
yeah.
come onto the wine bar gig scene, because we used to do that every week, I would let other people know, like, this is who you should reach out to.
Mhm.
And I know Crooked Tusker's been good to you, and Carlton's
Yeah.
fantastic. So
Yeah, he's gotten me a bunch of. I've played there a bunch.
but there was one time when you played at the wine bar, and my friend Jeff from Abandon was there, and I'm like, you need to play Pony.
Abandon is awesome.
Oh,
I've never played there,
you
and technically, I'm supposed to.
yeah.
Technically, there's a wedding going on in like May. A friend of mine's having her wedding there,
Okay.
and I'm scheduled there. But
Yeah.
just in case, I'm like double booked that day. Like, so I'm
For
trying to
backup
figure
booking?
out what is going to happen that day. Like, everything's in the air right now. So
Is it-
I don't know what's happening.
Is it going to be you and the boys, or just you
me.
solo?
Just
Yeah,
me.
because you have other boys that play with you.
I do. The other ladies in the band.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Handsome young ladies.
Handsome young ladies.
How did you come up with that?
So I didn't come up with it. Our drummer Jesse Sprinkle came up with it, and it was kind of a joke. We were at like a New Year's party, New Year's Day, 2017, and we had just started jamming like a few of these songs, like Roxanne and Killing Me Softly, and all these old songs, and
Oh wow.
and we were like, we didn't even really have a name or anything, but he just made a joke. Like the lady that we were at the party for, she had like 5 kids. And she was saying that all of her children look like her husband, except for the youngest, who's a boy, who looks just like her. And she goes, every time I upload a photo of him to Facebook, the auto recognition scans his face and tags her as him.
Wow.
And this is
Okay.
back in 2017. So, and he goes, that's where Jesse replies, that's because you're such a handsome young lady, like just jokingly. And
Yeah,
so we that's where we came. I'm like, that's the
cool.
name, that's the one. But it's so funny because, like, you know, with all the transgender issues and all that stuff,
Right,
like people
right.
are like, what are you trying to say? Like, or that's really cool. Like,
Right.
depending upon their view of that,
They think
Yeah.
it's a
they
political
think we
statement.
like are trying to be, yeah, it's hilarious.
That is great.
It's hilarious.
I was thinking we could definitely put that. We should put the poster up down here behind me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Until I turn this into the speakeasy, why not? We can rock with me, or Sam can come down here and play in front of his poster when the speakeasy's done.
I
So,
love that idea.
there you go.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Yeah. I have a small space, Sam, so that's why no one's ever done music here. So yeah, I'm not leaving you out.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I know you do it in your space, but I'm just like, is our acoustics good?
Are you having anybody lately or not?
Honestly, everything that's happened, I've been so scared, and the idea of possibly losing my liquor license, which is the livelihood of everything. But then
There's
I see
a
other.
12-foot rule or something like that.
What does that mean?
So as long as like the musician is 12 feet away from everyone,
Is
which is hard to
okay.
do. So it's 12 feet. So as long as I'm 12 feet away from whoever's there.
We can talk
Mm.
about it, because I want to, and it makes me so mad that I feel like I was forced to make that decision. But
Yeah.
the idea of I'm only having limited capacity inside, and then paying you, and then
Well, we can work something out.
well, I hope so, because I miss having music.
I have-
so
She's
much.
dickering on.
Let me tell
live.
you, I'm missing.
What?
This is how the sausage is made, everybody.
No, it's not.
No,
Stop it.
I'm missing out too. I mean, I've only had like 3 or 4 gigs every month, you know. So.
Well, it's not
Mm.
only that, it's like there was a time where we would have music once a week, every week, and it was the place to come and enjoy and hang out and have so much fun. And I just miss that. It really breaks my heart. Like, all the time. But I do miss having music there.
Yeah.
I've had amazing people there. Really good people. You, of course.
Yo, it's just crazy. Like pre-corona, like everything was just going for me. Just
To talk about that a little bit more.
oh my gosh, so the first year I started, I played at your place. I think December. It was December of like 2017 when I played it.
Okay.
I've only played your place once, but that was my building year, right? Like I didn't know anybody, so I was just going around meeting people and be like, hey, like I even went to some places and I played like on the spot. Like I was like, here, I'll play for an hour right now for you for free.
Yeah.
Whoa, you want to hire me? Like this is my rate. Like,
well, I saw you at the
and-
Laurentide. You popped on during the Indie Brothers.
yeah, exactly.
You're just like, yeah, I'll play a song, and
Or
then
like open mics, whatever I could find.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting my whole life over. Like I was going through all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so I was like, well, maybe I can make a living off this. So I didn't make a ton. I was also like paying my mortgage, like half my mortgage while I wasn't living there.
Right.
Oh boy.
The first year.
Right.
So I had zero money. And then, I filed for divorce at the end of, I think it was 2018 when I filed, but anyway, so then 2018 became the year that I started really building. Like I played out a lot. I must have played 150.
You traveled a
40
bit.
shows. Oh yeah.
I wasn't stalking you or anything, but yeah, you
No,
did
it's
travel a bit.
It sounds like you're stalking.
I was.
The band I thought was going to be the thing that took off.
Yeah.
And it was me.
It's a
It was
It was
solo.
all me. It was like everybody wanted to hire a solo artist, and around here, I'm from Chicago originally, and so a lot of my friends just make a killing in cover bands in the city, every suburb.
Yeah.
Like there's so many places to play, and they walk out with a lot of money. And here,
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with myself at my distillery when we do music. I mean, bands are pretty expensive.
They are.
Even though we've had some kick-ass guys there, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, if you have to pay a band like $800 to one band we
Right.
paid, it was like at the end of the day, you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of money,
It-
because
it is.
you
Yeah.
have to justify.
Yeah.
that.
you have to make a lot of money
Yeah.
that night.
And I mean, you do okay. I mean, we did it for our grand opening, but that's the nice thing about like getting an acoustic person like Evan Dillon. Like Evan
Yeah.
will be like, "Hey, Jess, I'll come up and play for like $150, $200." I'm like, "Done. Where like you want it now?" It's just easier to stomach, even though
Right.
Sure.
maybe Evan doesn't bring in the same crowd a full band does, but
Right.
it's still Evan. So
Or maybe he brings
bring
in
in
more.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
know.
That's even worse. Right. So.
But another thing too is that a lot of you guys are really good friends. So I could be like, would you recommend anybody
yeah.
else? And I had Love Dub
they're
come
awesome.
to me. Well, it was funny because I found out that Jessamy and I worked together and when we were talking, and I'm like, dude, come on down. Like, absolutely. And so they've been one of my constant once a month all the time. And then Jesse and Sarah got married. It was like 2020. And it's just been so sad I haven't been able to see them. But there is definitely a group of you guys that I think so highly
Some of us like Nate Michaels and the Indie Brothers are like the two that like I always help them out and
Yes.
help me out, and we're all full time. So like that's kind of the thing. So like I said, like 2018, like I must have got up to like 140, 50 shows, and then 2019 I played 194 shows.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
it's just I almost hit 200, and I was like, I mean, I was making good money. I was like looking at like a mortgage situation, like I was
You were
kind of
building.
like plotting out like
Yeah.
what's next. It just seemed like, oh, this is only going up. So and then bam, Humble City. What's up, guys? Here we are.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
It's a struggle.
So-
It's a struggle.
So you were averaging at minimum 3 shows a week there.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
like this summer, this is another thing about our area. Like
Right.
it's such a beautiful area. But there is like zero like economy here, like or like
Winter.
job offerings here.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
work for yourself.
Yeah.
Winter sucks.
Winter sucks.
It's like
Yeah.
during the summer is the bulk of everything. You gotta make hay while the sun shines.
Yes.
Right.
So
it's a struggle and it's really hard in summertime. But
is.
you train yourself to be like, you wake up, you go and just do it, because wintertime hits and you're so fucking miserable.
it is.
Yeah.
It's rough in the winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean in the summertime I was playing. There's days where I was doing 3 gigs in a day.
A day?
A day.
No.
I was singing like 8 hours in a day. And then that was like coupled together with, every day of the week pretty much. So you're doing like
Oh.
6 days a week, You know, like if it was July and August, oh my gosh, like I was slammed. And I don't turn down gigs unless it just on a time factor doesn't work out, you know?
I remember there was a couple bands that said I have a gig earlier that day. It's usually at a winery in the day, and then I'll come over here or your place at night. And I remember there was 2, but three. Where's the third gig coming from?
That's happened about 4 times so far in my career. So
it's pretty impressive.
What's the fatigue and wear and tear of doing something like that?
How do you do you prepare for this?
Yeah, so the first precaution that I started to take when I started doing covers was I tuned my guitar a full step down.
Nice.
Full step.
Brilliant.
When you're doing Roxanne and Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder and, you know, Queen and all that kind of stuff, it's like, you know, I could do that in the normal key, but if I have to play for 3 hours,
right?
A pop, like
that's crazy.
You know, and you only get like, I mean, it's understandable. I think it's pretty much guaranteed. Like you should get like a break, like, but I've got to the point where I don't even take breaks. I don't typically take breaks.
I expect
there are some musicians that take
2
very, very long breaks.
I take a break when it gets busy. I'll take 1 in the middle. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Like I split the whole thing up in the middle, but I hate taking breaks because I actually care about the venues that I play and that the crowd stays.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, when I keep playing like Roosterfish, like people will stay at the bar.
Yeah.
People don't leave.
Right.
And I want that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's what's the difference? Like, I love what I do. I love singing and playing. So, and I tune a whole step down. So it's fairly, you know, it's a lot easier than it would be. So I just, I guess I justify that and just go for it. But yeah.
Do you have a favorite venue you like to play?
I do. I have a few.
Which ones?
I think Climbing Vines is one of my favorites.
Climbing Vines is
I
fun.
love Climbing Vines. And they, Bree, that was one of the people that I tried to get in there for like 2 years. I'd stop it.
Really?
Oh yeah. I would stop in. There's another place, by the way. Y'all want to hook me up, anybody listening, Steuben Brewing. Somebody want to get me in there when they start.
Who do we know at
Steuben?
We know everybody at Steuben.
Yeah, I know everyone there.
Well, let's roll.
Hook me up. Okay. Hook me up. I want to play. I'll
That's a cool venue too.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
The thing I think with Steuben, and I don't know if it's 100% true, if it's for sure, but I think they like to book people that only play their venue and not surroundings.
That makes sense.
Because they try to just bring in unique artists to theirs. So I don't know how they would feel if like Sam's playing Crooked Tusker in them. I don't know. I think that's what they were talking about.
Random people.
I mean, Ampersand was pretty regular there.
Were they?
Like
well, then maybe it's no issue then, because I'm not sure. I just know.
I think they just kind of have it's when you have a business, like you have like your go-to, and you're like, well, I kind of don't really need to do anything else. Like, I got a good rotation.
Can we talk about Steuben just for one quick second?
They're awesome.
When Steuben started, that's when I was starting too with the car service. So there were a couple businesses in Steamboat Castle too. We all started around the same time, but Steuben was very consistent and it was a very easy equation. Obviously beer, food, and music. And they did that every week. And they just they nailed it in our brains. And then it was like, it comes to a place where like they're so big where I was getting their beer at the wine bar. And then Candy is like, I just can't give you any more beer because we're that busy. And I'm like, good for you, but sucks for me. You know what I mean? Because I loved your cream ale. Their best cream ale I've ever had, right? But that Steuben, I want to applaud to them. As a family, they just nailed it. And I'm pretty stoked about them.
They have like, anytime I would go there, I would go play Crooked Tusker or Point of the Bluff or wherever I was at in Hammondsport. And I'd always stop there. I've probably stopped there and given a card and a CD a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they always have a packed place. Like
it's sick.
And I don't want to like compare it to like, cause I think it's its own thing. And it's one of the few that really is consistent with their crowd.
Yeah.
But, if you've ever been to Miranda Cheese in Waterloo, have you guys ever been there?
Yes.
They have a kind of a similar thing. They usually bring a really good crowd. It's kind of a bigger, it's a bigger space, but there's just a few hubs like that around the Finger Lakes that are just awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that's a place that I want to definitely.
I'll tell you the one that's really, I mean, the Laurentide. You want to talk about bringing in crowds for music? I mean, during this, they were trying to space people out, and even during
they're turning people away.
They're like people are getting kicked out. Like, like, sorry, you can't come in. Like it's.
And they were turning people away last night for Frankie Wheeler.
Yeah, I mean that place that's got to be the venue to get.
I played there the other night, and I did very well.
Yeah,
I mean, I sold merch. People bought like records and CDs.
And
shirts.
that's another gig for you too. Like how many other what kind of merch do you do? What do you bring? Do you have t-shirts? Please tell me you have
t-shirts, hoodies, posters, stickers, buttons, vinyl and CD. So
the vinyl's really cool.
The vinyl's awesome.
Pink vinyl.
Yeah. Ah. Very nice.
Do you sell that stuff online, or is it just?
I do. Shows? I have a big cartel for handsome young ladies.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm almost out of like the hoodies and t-shirts. I probably won't repress. So
that's a huge cost.
It really is.
Yeah.
I kind of did it like when I released the record. I was like, I wanted to have like a whole merch line with it, so you could do a bundle, and then I had like $100 like deal where you get everything, and then I would ship it all to you. So
would you personally deliver it?
Depending upon where you're at.
I think that sounds like I love that idea.
If it's around the Finger Lakes, sure.
Is this going to be like a Patreon thing?
I don't have a Patreon, but
you should.
I have a Venmo and
Venmo.
PayPal.
Can I tell you about Venmo? I had no idea what that was until recently. Someone has to explain that to me.
I first used it down in the city because everybody's like, just Venmo me, we're getting lunch. Like, all right.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was either, like until a couple of years ago. So
does it make you nervous?
Venmo?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean,
why would it?
It's not a lot that makes me nervous, to be honest.
A lot of things
even the stuff that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
I'm not really nervous. I'm not a nervous human
Phil
being.
brings up really interesting topics.
Well, I was just going to ask, about your musical influences growing up in Chicago. You must have had, Jake and Elwood Blues, Eric Clapton. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. You know who Jake and Elwood Blues are?
I don't listen to blues.
You ever seen The Blues Brothers? It's a great movie.
I haven't seen the movie.
On a Mission from God.
Yeah. That's I was like, if you grew up in the
James
same
Brown,
city.
like, oh my gosh.
I was gonna say the band Chicago. I mean, I don't even know if they're from Chicago.
That's all I got. Well, Earth, Wind & Fire is from Chicago, aren't they? I think Earth, Wind & Fire is from there too. Anyway, Chicago's amazing.
Michael Jordan might have helped him somewhere.
Yeah,
there's a lot of really good food.
I mean, when he wasn't golfing and
playing baseball.
And
there's a lot of really good food in Chicago. Did that influence your music as well too?
Yeah, just
Deep dish
everything
pizza.
Chicago. So I was born in Fargo, North Dakota, actually.
No.
Oh,
yeah. What's
cool.
up?
Brainerd.
And I moved to Chicago when I was 2 years old because my parents couldn't get jobs in Fargo because it was
in the middle.
And now Fargo is crazy.
Oh,
the
yeah.
economy's booming because of like fracking and all that stuff. Like,
fracking.
Yeah, they're all pro frack. So they
big fossil fuel.
You can get a job at McDonald's and survive pretty nicely.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I need to go to Fargo.
No, yeah, things are different there. Things
No
are different
way.
there. That's a lot of people are moving there now.
Well, they're moving out of New York.
They're moving out of New York.
Yeah, lots of people are
a
doing
steady
that.
clip. We're losing thousands of people every day in New York.
They're certainly moving out of the city.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're moving to the
Yeah.
Finger Lakes.
Out of the state as well, though, right?
Like completely out of the state. I don't
Yeah.
know but I think most of that exodus is coming from the city.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the overall, flow is from the Finger
Yeah.
Lakes.
Yeah.
But so when you first came here, that was, how long ago was that?
2011. I came here in February of 2011, so it will be a decade in February. What's up?
Well, welcome. What do you think?
Yay.
I love the Finger Lakes. I love upstate New York. I love just like the geography and just like the beauty of it all.
So beautiful.
I hate the government here, but I hate the government anyway, so it's all good.
The government.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can we not do this?
Here we go. On that note, I'll see you guys at the Laurentine.
So when I say hate, I don't hate people. You know what I mean? I just hate the system. That
Right.
makes-
Yeah.
I hate the
It's
system.
very
Yeah.
controlling and very unforgiving.
Using, people to force you to do things.
There you
It's
go.
kind of like bullying. or
It's,
something.
yeah.
Oh, there's plenty
absolutely.
of bullying.
Yeah.
But
and,
it is
and lying, a lot of dishonesty. So
Waste, fraud, and abuse.
you know what though? The Finger Lakes, going back to the beauty of the Finger Lakes though.
Marianne's like,
let's go back to the
"Eh,
beauty.
No,
Let's
I don't
let's
do
paint a
it.
beautiful
before
picture.
we get audited, everybody,
All right,
let's
artists.
switch things around here.
Speaking of Venmo.
It is a fantastic place to live and to have a family. Which
Oh, that's. I was. Gonna say,
so where do your kids live?
we live in Watkins Glen.
You guys live in Watkins Glen. Oh, Watkins Glen is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy place. Like when I first moved here, it was gnarly because I moved to a campground. I managed a campground for a number of years. That was what I did. And when I moved there, I couldn't believe that I could see the stars so clearly here. And that, I mean, in the Chicago and the burbs where I was at, like it was just like trains everywhere and so loud. And I remember it being like beautiful, but really scary. like I was like, this is really creepy.
That must have
So
been
dark.
it must have been a crazy transition.
Super crazy. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
Huh.
You want to walk? Yeah, this, like I said, this is a great place to raise.
So you lived like in the city of Chicago.
I did live in the city of Chicago for a while. When I got married, I moved back to the burbs and lived in Arlington Heights and then in Fox River Grove, and then I moved here.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Would you ever get married again?
Seems like a trick question.
No, this is what Marianne's always thinking about.
First she asked Sam, do you deliver stuff to people's houses? Are you ever getting married again? Sam, I don't know what she's doing. She's grooming you for something.
She said, would you ever?
Would you?
Yeah.
So no, I would never get married in the institute of what it is governmentally. I don't agree with just the whole system of setting up a government contract to get married and complicating things further. But yeah, no, I would never do that. I would pledge myself to someone and say like, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? If it was the right fit, you know what I mean? I'd be like, all right, lady, let's do this. Like, that's it. Like, but I probably wouldn't even do a ring or anything. Like, I mean,
I love
rings are
jewelry.
expensive.
I love jewelry though.
Yeah. I try to tell Mary this all the time, but she just.
I might even get a
hopefully Mary's watching the show and Sam can help me out. Mary.
Good morning, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. I hope we got that quick enough for you.
I think after when you go through a divorce, the concept of getting married is probably very, very, very low. Very low.
Yeah.
It's very low on the list of things to do.
Yes.
Drops
it's like
down a couple notches.
Kind of like been there, done that. Like, and it's, I just think, I don't know, it takes a lot of work. Like, I don't think a lot of people are down for like the work of a real relationship. Like,
they're not. They don't understand how difficult it is. You have to invest every day.
Yeah. Well, like I got a lot of self-help, to be honest, like when I was going through it, because I actually tried to save my marriage. Like I was all about it. Like, I didn't make all the right decisions, I don't think. But I took I took emotional intelligence classes. I had a coach that was a success coach. And then I had marriagehelper.com. I took a course through them and just really just focus on myself and like learn how to be more accepting and more just kind of self-aware and like be like, well, that's some bullshit that you were on. So, you know what I mean? I tried to look in the mirror, but unfortunately one person can do that. But when two people aren't going to do that and when one isn't willing to do that, then you know what I mean?
That's how it works, though, right? Isn't it? Always one person's trying a little harder than the other. Don't you think? Yeah.
Well, I mean, by definition.
Yeah.
I think that's a very healthy way, though.
One of you is also smarter than
I'm letting
the
you
other.
talk.
I think it's a very healthy way of after any like a divorce or even some breakup of some sort, friendship even too. You want to like take a step back and have some ownership and look at it like, what could I have done differently and not carry all that burden because that's not fair and because you won't be able to grow from that.
I think you have to forgive yourself too.
Yes.
I've never been wrong.
I heard somebody recently say something like, it's easy to like not trust other people. Like a lot of people assume that you don't trust people. I don't trust myself like necessarily to get into another relationship.
No. What do you mean by that?
I don't trust my own judgment like right now, like in life. Like I'm like, I don't know. I mean, after you've kind of been through the ringer with something like that, you're like, wow, like I got to be really careful. Like this is a big decision,
right?
So
especially with kids involved. I mean, that's the game changer right there.
That is the hardest part because I'm not messing around. I don't want to just bring somebody in my kid's life and be like, they're the most important part of my life. You know what I mean? And
so you're saying you're single?
I've been single for a long time.
Yeah. It's the Elvis Costello school of self-improvement. Never fall in love again.
Never fall in love again.
So
yes.
So are we starting like a dating podcast too? We'll do like a little side show.
That's what Marianne always wanted it to be. If you go back and listen to our first episode, which actually was recorded 1 year ago tomorrow, you'll hear all about what Marianne thought that the podcast should be, and a lot of it is
Well, happy
my dating
anniversary,
life.
guys.
So,
I forgot that
thanks,
that's-
Sam.
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's your 1 year. It's cool to be here for your
We've
1 year.
evolved.
here.
We've
Yeah.
evolved a lot.
We've evolved. That's right.
I just like picking your brain because I know you and I've been down the same road,
Oh, yeah.
and it's nice to hear from another perspective because divorce is huge and it's a growing market right now.
Well, were you from a divorced family?
No, my
Same.
parents were together.
Mine are still together.
Yeah.
They still hang out. They're grocery shopping right now.
Yeah.
They love the hell out of each other. You know what I mean?
It's like it's kind of like my parents like, what's going on? But my mom's just like, it's over, it's done, move on. You need to just be on your own for a bit, and that it is what it is. And she's been both my parents have been very supportive. My whole family's been hugely
Sure.
supportive. They were confused why I didn't go back to Connecticut, and I said because I would never want to take my daughter away from her father ever. I would
That is
never do
amazing.
that. And I made a home here. Like, this is my life.
Mhm.
And the idea of going back to Connecticut was never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that.
They need that. They need both.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
know,
they do.
in certain circumstances, obviously there are exceptions to the rule where somebody's like completely abusive or a drug addict or you know, like
Extreme.
Yeah, if you
but
got to get away.
unless you're dealing with that kind of extreme, like you really should do the best job you can to like allow that person to be in their life. And
Yeah.
I think it's fair to have half and half if possible. Like
Co-parenting is a really hard concept for some people, though.
It is. Communication's a hard thing. period.
Communication is
So speaking of
communication.
kids,
Kids.
I've got these books here that are for your daughter and from my father.
Oh,
And
stop it.
He wanted me to give these to you
Oh,
for her. And
you can say her name.
okay. Well, yeah. So it's got all the flags and stuff. It's got dictionaries, whatever. So
Oh
anyway,
my
so there's
God.
volume 1.
Okay.
Wait, and
How
this
many
is volume
volumes?
2. So this one, when I was a kid, when I was like 2, I knew all the presidents in order. I could tell them right off the top of my head, all the way up through
Jamie says right
through
this
Bill
stuff down.
Clinton. Just as far as Bill Clinton. That's as far as I could get.
They probably stopped after Bill because they're like, oh, Jesus.
Jamie,
Well, just because that's when
I
they were
thought
printed.
he brought it for
They're
me.
old books. So anyway, well, you got to, sorry to interrupt everything, but I had to like interrupt with that. And so there's like 25 more of these books.
25. They're heavy.
It's like a set of encyclopedias. So this is like the starter kit. And then if she likes them and wants the rest of them, then you got to let us know so that we can get the rest of them.
Can I do a quick side story? So her teachers really want her to start reading nonfiction books because her reading's really good. Level L. I don't know what you guys don't know what that means, but that's okay. But it's good.
She's up through all the letters up
A
till
through
L.
Yes.
She just doesn't know MNO yet.
So
Or P.
nonfiction to elaborate her vocabulary, right? So we picked out a book from the library, which the public library in Penn is fantastic. Miss Sarah over there is just very beneficial. And so we picked out a book, Endangered Animals. And so we started reading about them. And then, so Phil, you would like this. So we're reading about, I forgot which animal it's a leopard, right? And she was reading about it. She's like, Mom, we got to do something. We got to save the leopards. So she wants to make like a YouTube channel and save the leopards.
Oh boy.
I know. And I'm like,
She could probably do it.
she could probably do it. I'm like, Portia, we got to plan this out. We can't we just can't make a channel on YouTube to save because
Yeah, why not?
Save the
I-
leopards.
I
It-
thought that was
Do it.
so crazy though. And I thought that was a really
She could
remarkable
start her own nonprofit as an 8-year-old.
Yes.
She needs a board of directors. I'll be on it.
Okay. I think, this would be the
Her
board of
first
directors.
venture.
I think this would be her first venture. I just
Yeah.
thought that was so awesome.
I don't think I'm.
Which
Inclined
leopards are
to-
we saving? And what are we saving them from?
Azure? I think it's Azure leopards.
What about the snow leopards? They really need to be saved.
We didn't get to the snow.
But
We
do you
didn't
know-
get to the snow yet.
But
Oh.
it's important. What are we saving them from?
We're saving because the human population is taking over their habitat, so they don't have a lot of places to live, and they're also
Yeah.
being hunted for because people like to hunt animals.
Yeah, hunting doesn't actually
No.
affect the population, but what the
But-
first thing that you said does. The human
Right.
population moving in
Right.
is the number one thing that crushes wildlife populations.
But I think for something and to learn from an 8-year-old's perspective, I think it's pretty fabulous though at the same time too.
hunting can actually help the population, interestingly.
Are you good at chess?
I'm not good at it. I can play it.
But so
I'll play it with her.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
I'll play
teach
it
her
with her.
chess? All right, check mark there.
But
Done.
I'm not gonna be good at it
You're
at
gonna-
any
you guys
point
are gonna figure
ever.
it out. You guys are gonna figure it out.
It's super like you got to be super strategic and well plotted out like in advance.
I play
for that
it.
game.
I don't.
It's an awesome game.
Yeah.
Well, her math
Yeah.
teacher recommended chess and checkers because with math, and they're like, instead of like doing more equations, let's push her in a different level.
But she does checkers already, I'm assuming.
No.
Well, you need to do
No.
that first before
Well,
you check.
well, let's
You gotta know the
Start with
checkers.
I'm not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good at
Start with
checkers.
the checkers.
Okay, we're gonna do checkers.
She's never
That's
played
easy.
checkers. She's 8 and she's never played checkers.
What age were you when you started playing
Oh,
checkers?
come on.
I was
I-
young.
Like-
Yeah, I was
like-
young.
Were you 4?
I was
As soon
like-
as
I was
as soon
like
as my
grade 4.
fingers like would work to
Yeah.
like grasp something.
I apologize.
with a
I
three-
apologize.
Tri-chuck
my
grip.
dad taught me chess like before I was in school in elementary.
Well, I
school.
guess maybe you're gonna play chess with her
Yeah,
then.
it sounds like that's what it's gonna
It's
be.
just like my dad. I don't know. He was just really big into it. So it was one of those things. Like for my 8th birthday, he bought me like all these
Oh,
glass
8.
pieces and
8.
everything. And
Okay.
So all you got to do then is you got to play chess with her, but then don't let her play football.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. So off the chess, I was gonna tell Sam. So the first time I think I seen you play, it was you've been to Keg and Barrel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
you
Keg
play
and
there.
Barrel.
Yeah.
A couple times I played there.
Rich
maybe
and
3.
Meg are my good friends,
I
and they're
love
like,
them.
we have
And Courtney too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole gang. The whole
like,
gang.
yeah,
we have this band coming in or whatever, and I was like, okay. And then the last couple bands, they were like, it was like brought an older crowd, and like I walked in, and you were there, and you killed it.
Thank
Like
you.
it was awesome, man. I haven't got to see it much, but that was an awesome
Where do they
performance.
place
So,
you? Because I can picture. 'Cause
Was
I've
that
never
on
been
the
there for
deck?
music.
you were on the
I was
deck,
outside.
Oh,
That was
so
the
it's
last
warm?
time I played.
and there was a
on the deck.
lot of people.
It was awesome. But I'm going to tell you
Slammed.
something.
What?
Every time that I have played there, it is just packed on a
It-
Friday
it's
night.
slammed.
They also have a almost. It feels like they have a built-in crowd because I know I didn't bring everybody. You know what I mean? Like they kill it.
They do a great,
great
job,
spot.
and their
Yeah.
beer selection is always fantastic. I always want to go out there, and I just can't get out there. It's hard to get out of here.
It's like
sometimes.
5 minutes from my distillery, so
So
I
you just
like
stumble
close.
down
I
there.
like close up, and I'm like, boop, right to Keg and Barrel I go. So
That's a
It's
great
awesome.
place to go.
I haven't been there for a while.
yeah,
So we need to go there. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
One of
for
these
sure.
days.
They're trying to extend their deck. They're going to make it even bigger. So it'll be crazy. Be a lot more room, and they have some. They get some pretty good artists in it. They had that Claudia Heuser. Yeah, have you ever heard of Claudia? She does like the
Is she
country
country?
music. She's been
She's beautiful,
to like
right?
Nashville, and like she's
Well, she plays country
played
music,
at
so.
huge venues
There
down
are
there.
Other
So
people that are
yeah.
ugly that can do country.
There's ugly people that play country
Well,
music.
like look at Blake Shelton.
Ugly
What's up?
women. Ugly women.
Oh, ugly women.
I don't think there are any ugly women that play country music.
No.
There's a lot of ugly men.
most
There are a lot of ugly men. David Allen Coe.
Sam, can you sing in
Merle
country?
Haggard.
I
Can you
don't
do
like
country?
country.
No
You don't
country.
like country?
Really?
Never have.
Have
You don't like country. You don't like blues. I don't know why you're here.
I like jazz.
jazz?
I like
is
jazz and R&B
Yeah.
and soul
yeah.
and punk.
Do you do Bon Jovi?
We like the exact opposite music. It's
Yeah.
cool.
and
I
that's
don't-
okay.
I'm not really into Bon Jovi. I like so if you're talking about like 80s music, like I don't like hair metal or anything like that.
No, nobody. does.
But
I
I
do.
love like new wave. Like I love like Depeche Mode.
Oh,
and
yes,
Tears
Depeche
for
Mode.
Fears
Yes.
and the
Sweet.
Police.
Yeah.
And all that. The Clash, like stuff like that. Elvis Costello is one of the greatest artists ever.
You ever
Um,
throw a quick rap in here and there? A
I
quick little.
love. I'm a Tupac fan through and through.
I could see you playing like
Like,
some
cool.
dirt,
I own every
dirty head
Tupac
stuff,
record.
man.
I still have every Tupac record.
God,
Wow,
there
that's
you go.
awesome.
What
Huge
about?
fan.
Did you watch
I have every
Tenacious
one of his
D?
movies too.
Do you like Tenacious D? Do know what that is?
I'm gonna say this. Jack Black is
Yeah.
the exception to the rule of not only a phenomenal musician, but he can act.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
he
mean?
is such a great actor.
Like, because we were just talking about Tupac, and Tupac was an okay actor, but he wasn't like Jack Black is next level. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's a real actor
He's
and
funny.
musician.
I forgot he was a musician. I just refer to him just as an actor.
Yeah,
he's
well,
amazing.
Come on, Tenacious
I
D
saw
is the greatest
Tenacious
band
D
ever.
with I saw it was Jimmy Eat World, Tenacious D, and Weezer in 2001.
hmm
It was
That
an
sounds
amazing
awesome.
Show.
That's
It
crazy.
was an amazing show.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you agree that the power slide is the most powerful stage move that a rocker has in his arsenal?
I don't know,
Or
man.
do you think that do you have some other thing that you prefer?
I don't know.
You think it's better than a power slide?
What's a power slide?
And how often do you do the power slide?
Hmm.
I don't know.
You know what the power slide
What's a
is?
power
slide?
Oh man, you got to do the power slide.
Is it like?
Oh, I thought Phil was going to show us live.
Is it thrusting?
Demonstrate.
So Sam, something else. Have you ever had or panties thrown at you
Please tell me yes.
while you were singing and playing? That?
And were they men's?
No, I've
Just
never
female.
had that.
You've never had that?
Not
No.
yet.
Well, I'm gonna make sure.
Jesse's gonna.
I'm
bring
just like
one.
gonna bring Mary's stuff and throw it.
Why would you bring your girlfriend's?
I've had
garments?
phone numbers given to me,
Oh yeah.
but that's about it.
What are they doing?
Is this? The
Oh
power
yes,
slide?
yes.
I
Okay.
just want to see if I can get to where they're doing the power slide.
He's so awesome.
You've never seen the movie?
Oh,
Power
man.
slide?
No, Tenacious D.
I just
Pick a Destiny.
no.
trying
I
to do
just
it.
knew of the album.
Oh yeah, Dave Grohl on drums.
Here he goes. He's gonna try. Oh,
That's what I thought. Oh, that's what I
Oh,
thought
right,
it
right,
was.
right.
That's what I
Okay.
thought it was.
you can't do it on carpet, can you?
Oh god.
So, Sam, you don't do that kind of move.
No,
No stage acrobatics.
not really. No, I used to like for a very small, like my first band, even though I was in bands in high school, but like after high school, I was in a band called Midwest Blue. Played in the same scene as like Fall Out Boy and Plain White Tees and all those kinds of bands. At the end of that band's career, I became just a singer. I was always a guitar player and singer, but I had to get wrist surgery. So we had when my buddy came and played guitar for me, and I was just a singer. We were like jumping off of amps and stuff. So that was the coolest. That was some of the
That's
coolest
crazy.
pictures that I have. I have some like
neat.
big air pictures like of
That's
that.
cool.
But then then that band broke up, and I did a couple other projects, and I don't really do any acrobatics.
Have you ever
anything.
smashed a guitar?
No.
No.
Don't believe I have.
They're expensive.
Yeah. But, like sometimes you get one that's like junky and beyond repair. It's like, oh, it's kind of fun to, I don't know. It's like that could be your next album cover.
I smashed a laptop in a video
Yeah.
for Benny and the Jets video for Handsome Young Ladies. I smashed it was a MacBook. Yeah,
Oh.
The poor MacBook.
it was already broken in the video.
Oh.
But
I'm sure no one
Sorry.
just smashes
it was
a good
really
laptop.
fun. I looked like a
hope.
psycho.
I-
This is only $2,000.
Bam.
Was
Was.
That's funny.
Jeez.
So, what's the biggest venue you've played? Like, how many people
Biggest
do you think?
venue and show I've ever played. 2007. Played a sold out show at the Metro in Chicago, which is across the street from Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Played with the Academy for their Atlantic Records debut album release, and I had mono on stage. I
boy.
wouldn't cancel. I was 102 like fever like on stage. I was
Jesus
like,
Christ.
That's called dedication.
I was like, I'm not gonna pass this up. Like my friends
Wow.
asked me to open for them, and I'm not. I just whatever. But yeah,
How'd you sound? Like you were good? You like even with all that?
I think that I passed.
Okay. All right.
I think that people didn't notice, but there were things that I couldn't do. Like I didn't have the same vibrato or like control
Mhm.
that I normally can pull off. Like, so I knew that I was like below par, but I don't think people knew, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
And how many people do you think were there? At something
it
like
was
that?
1,200 sold out.
Holy shit, that's a lot of people.
I mean,
That's got to be.
Wow.
Do you
I mean,
get do you get nervous? You get
but you
scared?
have to realize, like that band that I was opening for, they were about to go on tour with Fall Out Boy for the
Oh.
Honda Civic tour, playing stadiums.
Okay.
Okay.
So like all my like friends in the scene of Chicago, like they were on those kind of like
Gotcha.
that was like small, like I
Oh,
mean,
really?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
huge to me. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, no, it was huge for us.
Yeah.
Like we were like just a little band, but that's the biggest show. Yeah, I
Wow.
ever played was that. There was a few others. Like I remember like 550 sold out at Clearwater Theater for Smoking Popes. Other than that, yeah, those are like the biggest.
Smoking Popes.
You ever listen to them?
No, never heard
Oh,
of
they
it.
did a wicked cover of
Smoking Popes.
Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka.
Oh.
They had a song.
Huh.
They were on the Clueless soundtrack. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah, like
Like the movie Clueless?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Clueless.
Yeah,
Don't do that. You know Clueless.
They're on the-
Alicia Silverstone, of course I know.
they were on the
Clueless.
Clueless
Rolling
sound-
with the homies.
Yeah, that's on there.
Yeah.
Radiohead's on there. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. There's a lot of cool bands in there. But no, like they were on the Angus soundtrack. They were on the Tommy Boy soundtrack and the Clueless soundtrack. Same record.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
I've never even seen Clueless.
What
Because
is
you're young.
What is slave to servant?
Okay, we talked about that.
I have to ask.
Yeah, so this is another project that I'm in. So if you want to check that
What's
out,
this?
you can. I
Pass
have
it around to the class.
I started a band. I actually started Slave to Servant probably a couple years before I started Handsoming Ladies, and it just got put on pause, like when the divorce and everything.
Yeah.
And then I had to figure out how to make a living at music. But
Right.
So
Pretty
Slave to
interesting
Servant
logo.
is essentially it's me, and it's just a new band and a new musical endeavor of my own original art. And I talk about, just like I did with my podcast, I talk a lot about all kinds of things. There's all kinds of
Cool.
varieties of things talked about in my music. And yeah, it's just artistry, really. But I have a collection coming out in a few weeks on CD of all the original recordings that I made with it. And then I just wrapped up a record called Escape Babylon that I mixed with James Paul Wisner, who did Paramore and Dashboard Confessional and Further Seems Forever and Under Oath. And then I mastered it with Howie Weinberg, who did Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana and Ben Folds 5 and Faith No More and stuff like that.
Cool.
So it sounds like it cost like 30 to 40 grand to make it. And it probably cost me about 15 grand.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Wait, to make a
15 song record, 14 song record.
it costs that much money?
Dude, that's low.
And that's on vinyl.
Really?
That's
on.
low.
Holy
I mean,
shit,
that's-
dude!
You said it's on vinyl.
It will be. It will be on vinyl and it will be on CD.
I
So-
had no clue that's what it costs to do stuff like that.
Oh,
Is that halting your
that's
musical
like
career right now?
mind blowing. Seriously,
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's
So 15 grand is like
Low.
very low.
Well, and
end.
that's so.
that's like a low indie budget. Yeah.
So
A major label budget? Like, you kidding? Like 100 grand easy. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like on a record.
That's nuts, man.
but then
easy.
the benefit, you don't have to share the profits, right? So like
if there's profits.
assuming that there's
Right.
profits,
Nowadays,
but you know what I mean? Like if you were doing it with some production studio, then would they pay you and then they would
yeah,
just
it's
keep
all
the
like
money?
borrowed money, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to pay it back. Like,
Right.
That's the thing people don't realize about record deals. It's ultimately like kind of like slavery. I mean,
So some of these guys that you
It's crazy.
see that have bands that aren't particularly very good, I guess, in my opinion, and they have these CDs, and I can't believe. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, Sam, and not just because you're a great singer, so I'm
Thank
sure.
you.
But there's some people and that you'll go and see, and they'll like hand out their stuff, and you're like, and now that you think if they
Yeah.
spent 15 grand, I don't know how they're going to
Really,
recoup something.
and you're getting
like
that back $10 a pop. That's like
Yeah, because
I kind of look at it as like, as much as I'd love to make money back, it's such a passion. Like I love the process so
Right.
much of being creative
Right.
and being able to like take all these ideas that are flying at me every day
Yeah.
and just getting them out. Like, and for me, it's just like, I have to do it.
Huh.
Like,
that's
like,
cool.
There's
You have to stay on that level of like thinking though, because if you start worrying about you're going to pay for all this, then that passion diminishes, right?
right.
So, and then what's the point? Then you ask yourself, why are we doing this?
Yeah. I mean, you got to eat.
Yeah.
Eating is important.
But
But
I mean, well, I kind of look at it like this. Like I started an LLC, like when I started doing the cover thing, I was like, well, I'm going to do this legit with
Right.
Handsoming Ladies. So I started an LLC for an entertainment company. And I figured, well, I mean, the government gets enough of my money. So, I mean, I can at least write everything off legitimately. I wrote off
Yeah.
every single one of those things. I have, Howie Weinberg mastering or James Paul Wisner productions or whatever. Like I wrote it all off. So it's all good. You
Wow.
know,
sweet.
business expense.
it is
Do what
it
you
is.
love,
It is what it is.
That's cool.
What do you?
So
Are you ready? Yeah.
So yeah, I think
What?
we should show what we mean by the creativity that we're talking about. And let me see if I can get this going.
No. Hopefully we don't get hit with a copyright lawsuit here.
It shouldn't. I mean, it is copyrighted and it is with BMI, but
We have the artist here. I think we're allowed.
you have
Okay.
my permission.
Yeah.
Listen, Facebook and YouTube,
It's-
and Spotify and everything else.
yeah, it's all on
Uh,
Spotify and all those platforms. This song is this is track 2 on my new record, Escape Babylon. It's called Never Greener.
So let me see if I can.
Daddy's colluding with time. Mistrust him, breaking news, your home is a wreck. Mom's tried a reminder that you like to forget, that you already forgot a single time. No one is fighting on your vision, cause the tears won't stop. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. In this life, you can sometimes get in the shade. The fence stays wide, while hearts back and ending day by the day. This just in, breaking news, your home is a wreck. Mom's tried a reminder that you like to forget, that you already forgot a single drop. No water's flooding out your vision, cause the tears won't stop. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. It's always never greener. All the time. Said it like we meant it, but we read it, ended up on the fence, and then we read it as we penetrated our consequences. Good and menace, and shred it, all the evidence. Like the puppets and presidents, so keep the envious. The lesson from the might you left a mess. A hex, a payment of respect to what will never go. Arrest the shed and tears, confess and fears made out on letterheads. And legalese and conceal it, that I'm not upset. Like we read it, but we read it, ended up on the fence, and then we read it as we penetrated our consequences. Good and menace, and shred it, all the evidence. Like the puppets and presidents, so keep the envious. The lesson from the might you left a mess. A hex, a payment of respect to what will never go. Arrest the shed and tears, confess and fears made out on letterheads. And legalese and conceal it, that I'm not upset. It's always never greener. 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 On the other side.
Wow, that was awesome.
Well, thank you.
That is sweet.
That was great.
Yeah, I really like that middle section where you're kind of like you're going fast and you're doing. Yeah, that was. I don't know what you call that, if it's a breakdown or what it was, but it
Bridge.
Was,
Bridge.
yeah, something. It was awesome. It was cool.
Thank you.
So, where'd you shoot all that?
So that was all. That golf course was all. That was in Auburn, and I shot. The video was shot by Jesse Conti of Chariot Media. He does a lot of like new metal bands and stuff that are on like a subsidiary of Sony around the area. So yeah, he's awesome at what he does. Then both the Endy brothers were in that. I don't know if you know this. So Ken Endy from the Endy brothers, he played lead guitar on my record.
Really?
Yeah, he played on probably half the record. He played some solos that were just beyond my pay grade.
Cool.
I've been
But-
wanting to see those guys live, and I just haven't been able to do it.
So amazing.
They're
They're
awesome.
the best duo in the
Yeah.
entire area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They come down pretty.
They do. The timing just doesn't work. What's the significance with the smoking in the video?
Well, there's a lot of innuendos.
Yeah,
of,
I can imagine.
well, I mean, you know, like what is you light up a cigarette after you,
Oh, I see. I got you.
and if it was all in the hips, a little bit of the
Yep.
like she goes next door to the other side that's greener. You know what I mean? So
I think that's great. Have you ever thought about taking that song?
I think it's great.
I think it's great. Have you ever thought about taking that song and making it more of like a slower? I mean, obviously there's significance with all the guitar and whatnot, but have you ever thought of making it softer?
I have some other softer songs on the record that are there's 3 songs in particular on my record that have to do with like like I said, like that has to do with like
Yeah.
you know what I went through, right?
Exactly.
Like a lot of my record is very socio-conscious. I don't want to say political because I'm not political,
Right.
but there's a lot of stuff about that kind of stuff on my record too. But the 3 songs, we're filming a video soon for part 2 of that. It's gonna have a continued story.
Really?
That cigarette is gonna go up in flames. Like there's a house that goes up in flames.
Whoa,
because my
that's
house
crazy.
went up in flames.
Whoa.
So I will turn. We'll just put it this way.
Metaphorically.
I'll turn from that nerd into a fireman.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
Marianne's like corporate already. She's like, Sam, I think we need to tone this down a little bit.
No, no.
Listen, we need to talk about the tobacco use.
You can't, Sam. We got to do something here.
you know,
That's Marianne.
poor Sierra. That was her first time ever smoking a cigarette.
Oh, really?
She did it
Oh,
for the
God.
video. Like
Wow.
she's never smoked a
And
cigarette.
now she's hooked.
she's
Yeah,
actually-
she did it for
addicted.
the video. Like, it says- but yeah, that was Tom and his fiance, Tom Endy.
Wow.
They were my main characters in the video.
Okay.
And she'll be in the next video. But yeah, so the next video is going to be a more action, rocked out song, and then the third song, we'll tie it all together as like a final part of the video. It's called Lucy May. It's actually a song I've been playing live at my cover gigs lately. It's for my daughter because my daughter's name's Lucy May, and that kind of ties the whole story together.
Oh,
It's
that's awesome.
So that's a ballad. That's like a waltzy kind of acoustic song.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
Cool.
So,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to this.
I just love the quality of the video.
Of
You know, a lot
course.
of times you see
Yeah.
videos done and everyone skips to me quality, like the image quality. It's just huge at this point. You
Mhm.
know, you can't skip on it. And that was, I mean, I don't know what camera was used, but damn good camera.
it was a
So,
red.
yeah.
The batteries for those things are $500 a piece.
I'm sure.
Wow.
So if it's any indication, yeah, I mean that's a film quality. That's like a movie camera.
I mean,
So-
that was probably Phil's biggest expense with getting all this was getting a good camera for us, really.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can I just say your hair was amazing in that video?
Thank you.
So
Shout
good.
out to Michelle's hair and nails in Canandaigua.
Yeah,
Salon.
with Marianne today.
Boom.
Michelle. Where in Canandaigua?
Michelle's hair salon in Canandaigua.
Is that in Farmington? 332.
Yeah, it would be probably more so Farmington.
Yeah.
you're
Well,
probably right.
no, your hair is. Do you know what kind of product you put in your
Uh,
hair?
Please.
I don't.
It's fun. So here's the funny. There's like an inside joke here, Sam, that you're not getting. Where I wear a lot of pomade. I'm wearing a hat today because
You rolled out of bed.
Sam's a good looking dude, so I wasn't gonna try to like compete, right? So I'm like, I'll just put a hat on and put a coat on. So Phil, every time I put pomade in my hair, Marianne goes to Phil. She's like, you could really use some pomade. You know, she always tries to get him to style his hair and make it look nice. But so that's why it's funny because she's always picking on his hair, and now she's talking about how great your hair is again and throwing jabs at Phil at the same time.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't directly towards Phil. I'm just saying your hair looked fantastic.
Thank you.
Your hair was very awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch again just for the hair.
I want to
And the
watch.
music quality,
I
of
want
course.
you. I want to see you again in that nerd outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time you
I
come
got
on,
that
you're,
outfit.
you're gonna have to bring that.
Yes.
All right,
That-
come
that's
on
a
in character.
that's a sweet outfit. I love it.
You should just wear it for shows.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh.
usually come in with an outfit, don't you?
For a while, I used to play in a suit. I
Yeah.
used to play in
Really?
a suit at every gig, and I did that for a while, and it got very
hot.
yeah during the summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
so I stopped doing that. But yeah, the band, we typically will all get dressed up
Really?
for gigs.
Wow.
Typically. So, but who knows if we'll ever play another show, right?
Yeah. You know. I hope so.
You will.
We'll have to set something up here. You can pop her cherry, as they say.
All right.
And be the first musician, but I don't know how you do it. I mean, were you upstairs in my restaurant? Did you come through the top?
Mhm.
So I don't know if you think that's too small, or if you could set up in the window and play or something like
Just gotta
that.
have 12 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, as of right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're closing in December, but come back in spring. Hopefully,
Yeah.
everyone's got the vaccine.
I don't think there's
and-
any place in your whole restaurant where people won't come within 12 feet.
Yeah, no, not in ours. So
Well, it's the bathroom, and then
Right.
you have to come
Yeah,
in.
because you have
I'm
to
already-
go.
Because I'm already thinking about that right now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I would have to see if I can keep the other door open so people don't have to go to the bathroom in the front. They can waltz behind.
You
in
just
the
have to put
back.
them in the lounge.
Or that too. Yeah. We've put people in the lounge before.
Yeah.
We would just have to move all the furniture again.
Yeah.
Which is something that's doable.
yeah, hopefully by next year things will be a little different. We're putting in one of
If
those.
it's not, I'm starting a revolution.
We're putting in one of those windows where you can open it to the street. So that's probably going to be nice. You'll be able to like sit.
You're
someone
gonna
in the
do
corner.
what?
One of like you know how the Roosterfish has their windows in.
No,
Watkins
I
Glen?
don't know.
No. Well,
by
you
the way, I was just working there. They just closed.
yeah.
But I was bartending there.
Do they
So
usually
that was
close
my
in the
side
winter?
gig recently.
Do they usually close for wintertime?
Nope.
Are they
Oh.
closing just temporarily?
Yeah, it was horrible. Like the business was really, really bad.
It's not
Yeah,
good.
we were pretty slow last night ourselves.
We've been slow this whole week.
Yeah, but anyways, so back come spring, hopefully we'll be ready to go. Yeah, like I said, we're installing those windows where we can just open it right up,
Mhm.
you know, to the
Does
outside.
it like flip up like a garage
It'll-
door, or does it
Isn't
go?
that what
slide.
Parker's
Ah,
is doing
cool.
that too, right?
Yeah, Parker's has those windows as well.
So did someone give you $100 tip? Is that
Yeah, at Roosterfish. That was my last
Cash.
night. Last Saturday
Cash.
night, somebody gave me $100. They were from Long Island. Shout outs, Brian and Marie. Brian and Marie, what up? Yeah,
Did you guys talk about this already?
No, I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw it
Oh,
on Facebook. too.
Facebook.
For some reason I thought you lived in Rochester. I didn't know you lived.
it's because I represent my bandmates live in the Rochester area,
Okay.
and so it's funny. Little side story. My phone number. I needed to get a new phone number to represent the band on the business card for a 585 area code, just because of them. And I figured Rochester was going to dominate my business, and it ended up Finger Lakes just won everything. But anyway, hindsight 2020. But my ex at the time, we were on the same phone plan, and we were just like separated, not divorced. And so I was like, "Can you change my number?" And so she changed my number, and it's been the same since. And I've never changed it, but it's 585-666.
Yeah, I saw
Four
it. I was like,
digits.
oh, How about that?
Oh.
So
Interesting.
that would be a good reason, though, why you would think that I was from Rochester.
Yeah,
That's my number.
that
is
makes sense.
585.
That's cool.
That's funny.
That's cool. You're a bartender. Hey, you know, if you're ever looking for more bartending jobs, I know two people here that
Yeah, I'll go. Hey, I
Yeah.
am looking for something. I have nothing right now.
Yeah, nothing.
I
Nothing.
can't help you now because I'm closing next Saturday. But you know
what
spring
sucks?
comes
Well, I
around,
was looking for
so.
the rest of the month, and the last 2 weeks in December, it doesn't even make sense to be open. You
No.
know, it just
Mm-mm.
doesn't, because the only day would work on Wednesdays. But I know for me, like yesterday, Kev and I we would just spend shopping, and that was it. We didn't even like
Mhm.
go anywhere else, honestly. So it's just, I think, I don't know, people are just really still scared to go out. There's a concern, but even shopping, like there wasn't even like a lot of people, and we're talking about Saturday in December.
I went to the mall yesterday with my kids, Arnott Mall.
Yeah.
And the Santa, you know, like for the pictures,
Yeah.
was there on his sleigh, and he's wearing a mask.
Oh
It's
god,
just so weird. Such a weird,
no, thank you.
weird time.
No, thank
I
you.
saw. Did you see that thing on Facebook? It's huge going around that the kid asked the Santa for a Nerf gun.
yeah, yeah.
And
What?
and
Yeah,
Santa's
tell
like,
tell the story.
so I only watched it quick, so I don't have the full breakdown. But as far as I could see, was this kid goes up to Santa and his mom's there, and he goes, you know, I want a Nerf gun. And Santa,
Well, he didn't even. I'll
yeah, you do it.
I'll,
You know-
I'll dial
you
it back.
know a
I'm
little
sorry,
bit.
I didn't want
Yeah.
to jump. I don't
No,
want to like
no,
interrupt you. I
No,
asked you to
take
tell
it. Take it.
But so the kid like didn't even the Santa dragged it out of him. The kid was like, I don't know, like he's like, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, I don't know, like no, nothing really. And the Santa's like, well, come on, you gotta want something. He's like, yeah, Nerf gun. And he's like, oh no, you can't do guns. Your dad can give you a gun if he wants you to, but we can't. Not even Nerf guns. No kinds of guns. You can't have any guns.
You'll shoot your eye out.
He's like, if
What?
your dad wants to get you a gun, it can come from him, but Santa can't give you any kind of gun. It's like,
Wow.
Where was this?
And then the mother goes, no, he said Nerf gun.
yeah,
And then the Santa goes, no guns.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
Did Santa not know what a Nerf gun was?
I just think
No,
Santa
he
was
said
a
he said not even Nerf guns. He said nothing gun
Santa was
related
being
from
a
Santa.
dink. Yeah.
Nerf guns are like awesome, and they've been around for such a long time.
And I hate to be
Nerf guns are awesome.
that sensitive guy, but like, what if the kid doesn't? His dad wasn't there; it's just his mom, So like,
maybe there wasn't a dad.
yeah. So you're just like, what if his dad's
What if he
not
was like,
there?
my dad's
Right.
I can't even say it, but
But the kid
like,
starts crying.
yeah,
Yeah, the kid
Oh,
starts
yeah.
crying. It was sad. I'm
It's
like,
awful.
what a
Kidding?
dick.
it's such a like. Why does it have to be?
It's a
because
Nerf gun,
we're
man.
this
Like
overly
that.
sensitive, Phil. That's why.
It sucks.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That
Wait till he
sucks.
finds out Santa's not
Insane.
real. Shit.
Yeah.
What? Don't Santa's real. Because Portia's like said something like that in front of Kevin's kids. and
I
I'm
got
like,
her. I have a Red Rider for her. I have a Daisy Red Rider BB gun for her
Oh,
for
boy.
Portia.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You're lying, right?
No, I'm not lying.
Okay. I'm so excited about. God damn it! Can we not get? Can I like just not have anything?
I don't have to give her the BBs.
No.
Just so she can learn, trigger discipline and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're making me very.
She's gonna learn all the
anxious right
rules.
now.
Keep your finger off the trigger. Don't point it
Good
at
trigger control.
anything.
I'm trying to have a very peaceful December.
Well, yeah,
well,
it should be peaceful.
It'll be at the end of December, so
Oh,
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
kind of messed up, that video though. It was pretty crazy.
Wow.
So over a Nerf gun. Like, I can get it. Maybe you don't like guns, Santa, but it's a Nerf gun, buddy.
Well, my son got a BB gun this year. so,
Yeah?
Yeah.
and he's 9,
He'll be 9 in May. Yeah.
fixing to be 9. Yeah, see, it's the right age.
Yeah.
It's a good age to learn about gun safety, especially if you're going to be in, even if you don't, whether you have guns in your house or not, your kids in this area of the country are going to go to houses where there
Right.
will be guns inside the house. And so for them to learn to respect it, learn, not to touch it without permission,
do you remember?
learn kind of the safety rules. I think it's really important at that age.
Do you
'cause it's
remember
going
how
to keep
we-
them from having an accident.
Do you remember how we took Portia to that? What was an expo in
Yeah.
Elmira?
Oh, she loved it.
She did. She really
Yeah.
did. She got to shoot. What was it? It was a BB gun, right?
It was like a laser. They had this. It's like a
Had a
laser
scope
gun.
on it.
No, it was a handgun.
Oh, okay.
But it just shot lasers. It was just like a plastic handgun. It looked like a little Glock, but it was blue. And
But there was safety before.
they went through the whole
though.
thing and taught all the rules for safety,
Awesome.
and then let them shoot it at this little like light target, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually bought one for my actual guns.
Mm.
So
Oh, really?
yeah, it's pretty neat. You put this little laser you can put this little laser in the end of your gun,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it clicks, it flashes the laser real quick at this target,
Whoa.
and it lights up. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
neat.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's cool. But they taught her all the rules and stuff, and she loved it. She ate it up.
That's got to be the. I mean, I think my gift. I think it was 5 when I got my first BB gun from my dad, and like I remember, he took me out. Shit, it must have been like 5 or 6 times before he ever really even let me hold the gun. He was like, "We don't ever point at anyone. We point at ourselves. You always leave the barrel." I mean, just things.
Yeah.
And still now, it's still in your head now. Like when you're using the gun, you're like, okay, barrel's always down. Don't dick around with it. This and that. And
Yep.
Yeah, I think when you learn something that young, you're pretty good. So.
Yep.
Young and
Yep.
so much safety. And spending time in doing that is very important.
Instead of just fearing it altogether.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and being
Right.
able to know like how you handle that. That's really important.
I mean, you see the things with like those young girls. Somebody breaks in their house and they end up shooting the guy because they were taught guns and like how
Right.
to use like saves their lives.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. So, but we can get off the gun thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do more gun thing.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Thank
Wait till Christmas.
There'll be a lot
I
of gun
just
things.
want some peaceful months ahead of me. That's all I want.
Well, I can give it to her in January if you want to wait till after the new year.
let's just hold
Then
off
she's
on that
going to
for a
want a
bit.
peaceful spring,
It's not a good
and then
idea.
a peaceful
We should
summer.
give it to her.
Okay, let's.
We should talk about beer.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Thank
I
you.
like beer.
What's your go-to for beers?
Dark. I like
Oh.
it dark and sweet.
Dark and sweet.
What does that mean?
Sweet.
What does that
Like
mean?
the barrel aged like coconut, like kind of like Young Lion has an amazing stout. Oh my god.
Yes,
That's one of my favorite
That's
places
one
to
of my
play,
favorites
too.
too. I love that stout so much. We
Uh,
sold out of at the wine bar, by the way.
There's a very similar one to what they have at Prison City, which has won awards.
Never been there.
And it's amazing.
Mhm.
It's better.
Oh,
I hate to say it,
okay.
but it's truth.
It's better than Prison City's beer.
So no, Prison City
Oh,
is better,
better
than Young
than
Oh
Lions.
well, of course, yeah.
And
that-
Young Lions
that
is
beer
awesome.
You're talking about Prison City is
It's
hard to even get your hands on.
Have you performed at Young Lion?
I have it. I love it. It's so awesome.
That's
But
a cool
They haven't
place.
had any gigs this year.
No.
That's
but-
in Canandaigua.
Yes, it is. Right on Lake Shore.
That was
Drive.
my go-to place. Now
That's a great
I'm back
place.
at Peacemaker, so I'm playing there kind of.
Oh my God. So quick story. I went, so Kevin and I went to Peacemaker once, and I mistakenly purchased like this pumpkin latte beer. And I was like, is this like cold or hot, warm? And she's looking at me because there was live music there. There's this guy who was just doing his thing. It was fantastic. My first live music for such a long time. Right.
Mhm.
And I drank it. It was from the Etiquetteville. And I drank it, and it was the most god awful. And I can drink beer. I could not stomach that beer. I just left it, and Kevin's like, "Why don't you order something different?" I'm like, "No, because I own it. I purchased a shitty beer that I
You're
didn't
gonna do
like.
it. You're gonna subject yourself to the whole thing.
I didn't even finish it.
I
I
was
didn't
like,
even drink it.
there's a couple like that for me that have happened where it's just, and it's not like they did a bad job, but it just wasn't.
No,
my
it just
taste.
wasn't my taste. It
Yeah,
just
like
it was
I had like
nothing
an
against that.
apricot beer, and I just couldn't even. I
No.
don't. It sounded good, and I like to.
Yeah.
I like sweet, but it
I-
was just something about it just didn't.
Nope.
It was just, what is this?
Nope. It wasn't my thing.
I
at
had
all.
to. I had to switch.
I would never make that mistake again. But I want to go back to Peacemaker again because the concept.
They're
there-
awesome.
I don't know where to park though when I go.
No, they have a
there.
new spot.
Uh,
They have a new spot, by the way. Are you talking about?
yeah, the new spot
Okay.
near
Okay.
the Rio.
Yeah.
Right close to Rio.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rio
yeah.
is so good.
Rio
So
is
good.
a beautiful
Rio.
place.
Rio is
Yeah.
the best
Food,
restaurant
hands
in this entire area.
down.
Did I get ceviche there? I think I got ceviche there.
It's
Do they have ceviche?
it's the coolest.
If they have it,
place.
I got it.
I remember Rio before it moved over there. Like when Rio was smaller, where Nick's Chops house.
Oh, yeah,
house
I've heard
is,
about
right?
that.
Yeah, and it was very small, and it was still such a cool place. And they
Mhm.
moved over to what it was, the lumber yard, right?
Yeah.
They really made great use of that space. And there was one
It's
time
pretty.
they did
It's-
flamenco dancing there,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was fantastic. And I just want COVID to go away so that we can just do this all over again.
Wow.
But what other beer places do you like? Young
So
Lion,
my
Chris-
right, like
Yeah.
my go-to, like if I go fill up a growler
Yeah.
or whatever, like I go to Scale House. That is,
Oh yes,
they
On the-
have this peanut butter stout, and it is out of this world.
the pizza there and food there is really cool too.
Oh, yeah, it's a cool place, but that peanut butter stout
Yeah.
is some serious business.
All
That
right.
is just.
One day, why
Marianne knows that I don't like flavors in my beers.
He's very simple.
I just want the beer.
He's a simple.
That's why I'm
guy.
to take the barley, and I want him to boil it, and I want him to put yeast in it, and then I want him to serve it to me.
You know, it's funny. I don't really like IPAs. I know everybody likes that's the rage. I don't hate.
Yeah,
I don't
people
hate
are
them.
into those.
I don't
I'm a
hate
stout
them.
guy,
I
too.
can only do
Yeah.
like one.
I'm a
like,
big stout guy, but I don't like give me a stout. Don't give me a vanilla stout
Oh, I
or a
love the
chocolate
vanilla, see.
stout or a coffee
Love
stout.
the
Just
flavor.
give me the stout. Just give me the
Sometimes
beer.
the vanilla can go wrong, and then there are
Sure.
sometimes it just works. But there are times where I do really enjoy IPAs, and then right now I'm in a not dark place, but I'm in a dark beer place.
I'm in a
right
dark
now.
place.
I'm in a-
We're all kind
I'm
of in a dark place
right now.
But
Let's
it's-
just be real.
It is. But my favorite one of my favorite beers that I enjoy drinking is Bud Light Lime.
She
Oh,
does. She
I
loves
do
the Bud
love I
Light
love my
Lime.
Bud Light Lime.
I like a Corona than the lime, so that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I
it makes
like that
sense.
too.
But I do like have you ever been to Brewery of Broken Dreams?
Oh,
Hammondsport.
Feel like
Yeah.
I probably have
They've got
once.
great beer.
Awesome beer. Very
Can't put
small
it-
tasting room, but the beer is phenomenal.
Yes, I have. Yes, that's on the other side. That's like by like downtown.
Ooh.
If you take a left instead of going up the lake, like it's
Yeah.
yes, I have. And they
Jesus.
don't do live music. Darn it.
It's too small.
It's too small. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
too
yeah.
small. But they don't can their beer. But
Talking
it's
beer.
good. What is this? What are you doing? What is this?
He doesn't like IPAs.
Yeah, all I have is hardcore IPA, so I thought
Oh, I thought you have a stout up there.
Yeah, I got the Steamboat Stout
Mm.
from Finger Lakes Beer Company. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the story about the Brewery of Broken Dreams?
Mm-mm.
I went in there and they were telling me
It's a good story.
that place basically it burned down like 3 times or something.
It's been unsuccessful so many times, but finally it's like, okay, finally.
Like
made
it sat empty for like 30 years and then a car caught fire in front of it, or I don't know. But long story short is they're making great beer now. So
No, beers are good.
sorry
I've
to-
never had their beer.
Do you have a winery? Like
Yeah.
it's like a winery you really enjoy going to?
I do like wine. As far Where's the winery? I mean, I really like a cab. Like I like red wine.
You like red wine?
Yeah. I used to play White Springs a lot, and they had this Ameritage, or Meritage,
Yep,
or
yep,
whatever,
yep.
and it was like the perfect blend for me. It was kind of like sweet, but it wasn't. I don't know. It's a nice blend.
You're like sweet and sassy.
Sweet,
sweet and dark. I like my women. You know. Shoot.
There you go, Phil.
Marianne's on fire today. I
I
need
am.
some of this moonshine.
I am on fire. Have you had this?
I
you-
have not.
You have it?
I don't think Sam's ever been to my distillery.
I don't think so.
Well, gotta change. Is it open? Is your distillery open,
Yeah,
Jesse?
yeah.
Okay.
Apple pie.
All right.
This is my number one seller, Sam. This is-
It's really good.
yeah. The Laurentide sells about I think we've gone to about 6 to 8 bottles a week of it or something.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you
imagine.
have a special now,
It's quite
though? It's an
tasty.
eggnog thing,
You can
right?
warm that up.
Yeah.
You can
I
warm
like that
up and
picture.
be like a cider kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
serve it
Oh, I like
hot.
warm stuff.
When I was making it in the woods before I started my distillery, that was like the first thing that I made. It got so popular that I was able to stop doing what I was doing, corrections officer, and like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna make
That's awesome.
moonshine. So that's how this all started.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Instead of being correctional officer, you're like, I want to make people happy.
I want to
Yeah.
send people to jail.
Okay.
I don't want to watch them.
Nope. He doesn't mean that.
Boom.
I'll tell you what though. I was thinking with this, it'd make if you had something that had cloves and some orange or something, you could make a great
Oh.
wassail shot out of this.
I was actually going to ask you if you
Wassail cocktail.
could make wassail for me for the restaurant this weekend.
Yeah, I make you
Could
wassail.
you make like a big batch? I'll
I can
pay
make a
you,
big, yeah. I can
and I'll
make a
give
big
you
bag.
whatever liquor you want.
Okay,
That's what it's about.
And I'm gonna make coquito as well. So
that'd be awesome.
So we're gonna have two
Yeah.
different things rolling. Yeah,
I'll have to
So
stop
Make
over.
a big jug of it.
You're only open Thursday,
Like,
Friday, and
I'll
Saturday.
need like probably 2 gallons. Can you make 2 gallons?
Oh yeah, 2
Yeah,
gallons is
okay.
no price. You're gonna that's not enough though.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Okay, all right.
2 gallons isn't enough.
Okay.
When I'll bring we have a Christmas party every year with our staff. This is our first year not doing it, but I'll usually with
Oh.
like 10 of us, we'll go through 3 gallons in a short period of time.
Wow.
We crank through it.
Huh.
But you could dress it up like with the way that you make your drinks here.
Mhm.
Put like a orange slice on it and whatever stuff like that'd be cool.
We're supposed to be a fancy cocktail bar, so yeah, we try to make
cool.
it.
it's
But
fancy.
we're like that cocktail bar. We're like that girl that gets out once a month, and usually she's in her sweatpants, but you like dress it up really nice. We're like that. That's our.
Are you talking about your clientele?
No, we're talking about our products because we use my products. So you're using moonshine. I'm like, oh, now let's make moonshine pretty. So
It's-
you got yeah. So you
Well,
gotta-
that was the whole point of the 20s, right? Is all
yeah.
they took moonshine and they made cocktails out of it.
Yeah.
So it would
Yeah.
be
And here we are in the
potable.
20s.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys like eggnog?
I love eggnog.
Apparently, I do.
I gotta go grab that.
Do you
real
have
quick.
some right
Yeah,
now?
Yeah.
Please.
I'd love to
Are we
try
gonna
it.
do it?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay.
It's
All right. So it's just me,
Coffee's
Phil,
good.
and I. It's just me, Phil, and I.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very
Do you know where the bathroom?
You're on
is?
fire today, though. You could probably just carry it.
I don't. I'm trying to think of things I should not talk about.
So, what do you want to talk?
I usually come up with things I really want to talk about, but the things I wanted to talk about, I already talked with Sam because Sam
Yeah.
is such a great guy. The
Well,
eggnog is fantastic. Jamie. So when I was driving by the 18th Amendment the other day, I saw Jamie from the road, and it was because of his hat. He was wearing, I think he was wearing "Let's Make America Great Again." It was one of, it was,
Oh,
I knew it was
God.
a red hat.
Oh God!
But I could tell from the road, Jamie Sisson was represented at the 18th Amendment. And I hope he's doing well with Ginny. But it's nice. I see that the Steamboat Castle's on Premier Properties now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they change the name? I thought I heard they changed the name.
Oh, it's not the Steamboat Castle anymore, I don't think, obviously. But I have 2 lovely ladies that come from Premier Properties over to, it was a Bill's hat. My correction, but I could tell
Yeah.
by your
Bills.
face in your hat,
The
it
Bills.
was you. The Bills, which I hope they win today. They're on later.
It's a late game. It's
It's a
like
late
8 o'clock or something. Yeah.
Yes, but I have 2 awesome ladies from Premier Properties that pop over every Thursday. So I want to give a shout out to Premier Properties. They're doing their thing, doing a good thing.
FLPP.
Yes.
I generally like what they do.
Bringing people in.
They've got a
taking
cool
care of
model.
people.
Yeah.
Yep. They are calling it Steamboat Castle. What? They are calling it Steamboat Castle? So they can. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't change the name of something that's that well established. I mean,
No.
you're going to throw away your customer base.
Right.
No, keep them coming.
No, that makes sense. But they would have to rent the whole establishment, though, not per room.
True. I don't know. Maybe.
Is it chilly?
I'm just actually.
We're in a basement
I'm always cold.
in the wintertime.
I'm always cold. No, so I was at the wine bar Friday night, and I was sitting at the bar, and oh my god, what are you doing?
Wait, I have to,
Oh, nice. I
hold
like.
on.
I like.
Okay,
this.
there we go. No,
Yeah.
because when he's
Science.
standing up.
Yes, science. Science.
Just science. Everyone.
Cheers.
So
Science.
I was sitting at the bar, and I'm like thinking, why is it cold in here? And I looked over, I'm like, who put the AC on? And Char was like, oh, one of the customers, Amanda, she's like, well, she's hot. I'm like, are you having a heat wave right now? And I kept calling it heat wave.
A heat wave? You meant a hot flash?
I meant a hot flash. I'm looking forward to hot flashes. I really am.
Really?
I'm always cold. I just
Yeah,
want
I
to
am
be
too.
hot. I just want to be hot
Your
all the time.
hands. Feel the hands.
I'm cold.
But I'm colder.
No, I think I'm colder.
The feet and the hands always get cold for me.
Yep. Nope.
It's been stolen. My
Oh.
parents
What's been
stole it.
stolen? Your
They
eggnog's
took
been
it.
stolen?
No
Yeah.
eggnog. No
My
eggnog.
parents took it.
Boo
That
to your
sucks.
parents.
I call them. I'm like, why'd you guys take the eggnog? My dad's like, you think I was gonna leave that there? Well, I guess not. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in leaving it for 4 days.
It's really
Well,
delicious.
I told my mom that we were gonna drink on the podcast today,
Oh,
and my
What's that?
dad didn't get the memo. So
Ah.
yeah.
what's the
No, he got the memo.
Co-
he got the
co-
eggnog.
Yeah.
Coquitos
You got the real
is
memo.
Puerto Rican eggnog is what they call it.
So that's what this is coquito, or is it eggnog?
No, that's eggnog.
This is eggnog.
I made actual eggnog, and what a pain in the ass. I don't know if you've ever made
not easy to
traditional
do?
eggnog.
No,
but
I haven't.
it's like you have
Oh.
to separate a dozen eggs, the yolk to the whites, and then you whip the yolks with sugar, and then you cook it with the milk, and then you have to whip the whites separate and make like a, I don't know.
Huh.
They say stiff peaks. I don't know what the hell it is.
It's kind of
Add
like
sugar.
making what's the custard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like custard pie, and then you whip it all, fold it, don't whip
You
it,
fold it
fold
in.
it together.
Fold it in.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
fold it in.
My girl Mary's starting to get pissed because I kept going fold, and she's like, "Shut up!"
What are you getting married for Christmas?
Nothing.
I don't know what that means.
She gets me.
Love.
She gets me for Christmas.
You gonna wrap yourself up?
Yeah, I
You
hope
gonna wrap
so. I'll put a bow on myself. Ka-ching. Yeah.
Can you return it?
No.
I-
Actually,
I'm getting uncomfortable.
I don't know what to get her, but I had
It's a ring.
a realization like last night. So she got all done up, and like I look in the mirror and I'm looking at her and I'm like, holy fuck, my girlfriend's out of my league.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
I knew that.
know.
I knew that like
How-
like
how
a year
did-
ago
how
when I
did
met
not
you.
know that?
I don't know. I just like look at her and I'm like, wow, she's
Have you met
she's-
Mary?
Mm.
Mary is intelligent.
When I came in here and you were like, "This is my girlfriend Mary," I was like, "Wow, he's hitting out of his league."
yeah. I didn't notice until last night. I was like drunk. I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, man. And then I look at her. I'm like, oh, well, I guess maybe that whole thing of Marianne pushing me to put a ring on it is a reason. She's like,
Lock it down.
I'm
Lock it down.
trying. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help
You
you
gotta
so
lock it
Mary
down.
doesn't find somebody else who's more in her league. But
right, yeah.
but she's beautiful. She's intelligent.
Mm.
She is a pistol.
And she makes way more money than me. So there's that too.
She's got that. I mean, if I was single, I'd be dating Mary
Mm.
because I think we are in the same league.
So, anyways, I was pissing her off by saying fold, and then,
She's amazing. She's she's kind of like me.
I'm also the most modest person.
Oh my God, Kevin needs to be on here because I said something yesterday. He's like, wow, you're so modest. And he's been saying that to me a lot lately. But I'm like, I think I know my strengths. And I think that's important.
so I stopped saying fold because I didn't want her to leave me once I knew she was out of my league. But coquito is you don't actually use eggs. you use coconuts and
Mm.
evaporated milk and
Oh,
Coco
that sounds-
Lopez.
Coconut.
It's just like it's pretty much all
Awesome.
coconut is what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Are you gonna do that this week too?
that'll be this week. The coquito. Yeah,
Okay.
Last
so we'll
week
have
was
Coquito
eggnog.
and Wassel for the show next week.
That'll be sweet. Yeah,
It'll be really sweet. Probably too sweet. Almost
it'll
as
be
sweet
fine.
as this apple pie.
it's delicious.
that's very sweet.
Loving it.
Yeah, there you go. She's cute.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Where's my? Oh, here we go. Did you see the picture of the eggnog today?
No, it's a good picture. One of your customers
I saw
shared
it,
it on
yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah.
and that's how I found it.
But they stopped
Look at
putting
that
the
baby. I mean, it's like the perfect eggnog you could ever have.
It is really
It looks
pretty.
awesome.
Yeah.
It did. Did
they
Ruth take
stopped
that
putting the
picture?
cherry on it though.
No, I took it.
So they thought the cherry didn't make sense.
I just did it. Remember, I said we dress it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's all. What do they call it? Putting lipstick on a pig?
Yes, here's some
Yeah.
lipstick.
Yeah. There you go.
Coconut is amazing. One of the best flavors ever.
I think so too.
I think that, well, my favorite cake, German chocolate cake, the coconut frosting. That's
Mine,
what's up.
mine is carrot cake, and you have to have the coconut,
What you do.
and dare I say, raisins.
So
Yeah, raisins are awesome.
you must
Yeah.
love
grapes.
the.
Dried up grapes.
but drier. Yeah.
The dryer.
You ever had a coconut brown ale? Coconut brown ale.
I have had coconut stouts, but I don't think I've ever had a coconut brown. But I
Oh.
love brown ales too.
Those are good, and a lot of people do them. Finger Lakes Beer Company there in
Mm.
Hammondsport does one, and it's really good. We do well with it. But working at Roosterfish, I remember. Are you cold?
Yes.
My favorite was the cocoa, the cocoa porter. Is that what it is over there? Yeah, that was killer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Porters are good.
Porters are yummy.
So is this your first time bartending?
Yeah, that's a
Ever?
new endeavor for me. Yeah.
You're good. I can imagine you're
And
good at it.
So do you have experience
I'm good
mixing
with people.
drinks?
I can follow ingredients. Like they had. I'm lucky at Rooster. They had in the computer they had like everything. You could be like, oh, Manhattan or this or that or whatever, And then for our specials, we had them like on a piece of paper, like written out. So I'm kind of like still learning, to be honest. So but,
It's okay.
It's one of those jobs where there's no way to get good at it other than do it.
Exactly.
There's just I don't think you can. Maybe you can practice. Who knows? I don't think so.
I
Don't
think
they have schools?
I think I broke the ice now. Like
Do,
I'm
the
ready.
fancy flips and shit.
I'm ready to jump into another one. Like now that I've done it once, and that like it was so slow when I was doing it. It was
Yeah.
enough of a confidence. Now I could jump
Yeah.
in somewhere else.
The great thing I've done a little bit at the Water Street Wine Bar, and the great thing over there is all you have to do is either pour the wine or pour the beer.
Yeah.
As long as you can find it.
But you have to be engaging.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like as far as like I don't have to be engaging and also try to figure out like which vermouth to use.
Right,
but
right.
also being able to talk about the wine or the beer, and it's also really good to know where everything is. I had a friend help me out one day because I was just swamped. Like I was by myself. Like the other person called in sick, and I had music playing. So I'm like, I have to do this all myself, and I did. And then my friend came in. It was Lorraine, and she's like, "Let me help you just pour," because I hurt my back at the same time too. So I'm like in pain trying to do everything.
Mm.
And then she's like, because she only drinks the one wine, Chardonnay. And she's like, someone asked for Moscato. She's like, where the fuck is your Moscato? I can't find it. I'm
It's
like,
in the refrigerator.
no. I know. But it was like, I was so thankful for her. And we powered out. Actually, we did really well. But I was just like, A, you never want to be in pain. And B,
Yeah.
you never want anyone to call in.
You got to alphabetize the wines so that they're.
Well, you just need to know where it is.
That's your so her method of organizing the wine is you just have to know where it is.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Common sense.
in order of any type of order. It's just you just know. It's like my house. It's like I know where everything is. It doesn't look organized, but I know where everything is.
Do you?
It's like
I think
John-
we should go to your apartment right now and start asking questions.
I don't think.
What do you guys
That-
think of
that's a good
Sam
idea.
being a singing bartender?
Oh. Is that
Can you
feasible
sing
now?
and work at the same time?
I feel like this is going.
What would
It
you
could get
say?
really corny really quick. I don't know.
The singing bartender.
All kinds
what
of
would that
images
even be
rush
like?
into my
Yeah,
head
me
when you
too.
say that.
Yeah.
Did you say all kind of emotions?
Images.
Oh, images.
Images.
I was thinking emotions.
Yeah. No, that was a joke. I
Yeah.
don't think it's doable. But I was gonna ask you. So I went to school with a kid, and I wonder if you have the same talent, where he could name what I guess is it tune or chord? They call it perfect pitch. Is that what it is? Where you can like any sound, like even an airplane, they'll tell you like name. You ever heard of anything like that?
I have really good pitch. I don't think I
Yeah.
have perfect pitch. There are people that do. I don't even read music. I don't even know theory. I memorize a lot of different like chord positionings. I compose scores too. I just don't even know what I'm doing. I guess I just
Wow.
feel it.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Natural talent.
But
So you can
I would
hear,
like to. I
you
would
can
like
hear
to.
the sound of something and kind of guess where you think it is.
No,
No.
I don't think so. I mean, because that would entail like being able to. I can't even tell you like the guitar chord that I'm playing. Like I can't tell you like unless it's on the end of the neck. I can tell you it's like this is a G or this is
Okay.
an E minor or whatever.
Cool.
But like once I move past that part of the neck, like I know it's all mathematical, but I don't.
That's
I
sweet.
never even
Okay.
memorized
That's cool.
any
Yeah.
sort of the methodology to it. Like I'm all feeling.
But
when it
you
comes
don't have
that.
to, right? I mean,
Well, most
you're
people,
pretty good at it.
Most
so.
people don't even know more than like a few basic chords. Like they'll just capo everything, right? Like, but I know a lot of different voicings. Like I like jazz a lot. I like sevenths and ninths and weird kind of diminished chords, and I use different tunings. But I don't know I'm not a very technical human being when it comes to that kind of stuff.
With
Like,
my guitar, I play everything in C chord because that's the only chord I know, and it's the easiest chord.
Everything in the key of C. Yeah.
You should
Crazy.
play your own plays.
No, I can play like 3 songs, and 2 of them was I was in love and young, and I had to learn the songs, and like one of them's country, and yeah, it was a lot of work. And then one of the only other song, which was a tough one because it's my grandmother's favorite song, was "House of the Rising Sun" on acoustic.
That's a good song.
Can
And
you
that is
sing?
tough to play on guitar.
That's a good
Wait,
no,
wait.
no,
Can you
no.
sing it?
No,
No.
no.
So
There's no way.
can I tell you a
Do
quick
you do
story?
Mustang Sally, by the way?
Hell no.
I hope so.
But I do Sweet Caroline.
So there's a story about Mustang Sally, Sam. Sorry.
Yeah.
I stripped at a not strip club,
recently.
a dance place in Alfred. Yeah, it's like a bar. So,
GJ's.
and it was
It's a classy joint.
It is a very.
it
classy
was
joint.
it was men's strip night, and
Oh shit.
yeah, so I was like 20 in college. And
So
it was
anytime
fun.
he undoes a button,
Mustang
or like
Sally
takes
was the-
off his jacket, I just start singing Mustang Sally.
It was Mustang Sally, the song.
So-
So that's what they're wondering. Yeah.
See, I'm not really a Mustang, so like I'm more of a pony. Kind
Pony.
of
You
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
You are
yeah.
a pony guy.
Yo, I played pony. It was 2019. It was at Roosterfish, and this lady got on the bar and just started dancing. It was like a year,
Oh.
well over a year ago, but it was crazy.
Was it a younger lady or older
No.
lady?
No, it's probably like, forgive me, mom, but somebody like my mom's age. You know what I mean? Like,
Sam's like,
she's
no.
like, I'm getting on the bar. She just went for it.
Oh,
See, you
no.
inspire people.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Love it.
I need a drink.
It's all
for that.
perception. It's all perception.
Yeah, nice. Sam.
The House of the Rising Sun.
That's a
So
great song.
there was one time where I met up with Jeff and his friend Bill at the Kuka restaurant, and they were, they did karaoke, and I was really sad during that time. And so Jeff, who's a really good friend of mine, who brews beer at Abandon, he sang that song for me, and it was probably one of my favorite nights there. And we brought that up recently with Malis.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "You sing?" And then he's like, "No, I'm like, he does. He does sing."
I heard this awesome cover of House of the Rising Sun, and I can't remember what band it was.
Was
but-
it you?
Cool story. Sorry.
You gotta back up your stuff, bro.
Are there any songs that you have played but now you won't play? You're like, I'm not gonna play that anymore.
It was the White Buffalo, if anyone's wondering. House of the Rising Sun.
White Buffalo.
White Buffalo.
There were songs like at the beginning, like the first year that I started learning covers, that I really like to play, but I realized quickly that other people, they didn't resonate as much. Like I love I'm like a huge 90s R&B and hip hop and like dance music like fan. Like even before I am like an alternative music fan, like I was always into R&B, and first CD was like the Bodyguard soundtrack. So
Oh my God, Whitney Houston.
yo,
Cool.
Oh my God.
greatest vocalist of all time.
So what's your favorite song on that album?
I don't know.
Well, I think that
Whitney
she
Houston?
destroyed
I've never heard
Shaka
her
Khan's
music, really.
"I'm Every Woman." I think she destroyed it
In a good way or a bad way?
in a great way. I think she killed it. I think she owned it and made it better than Shaka Khan's.
Absolutely.
original version.
I thought that was a weird
And
situation.
my favorite song though
Yeah?
is What's the song? Not hold on. I have nothing.
I was just gonna say that
So-
that delivery of her, oh my, it just gives me chills.
Yo, I wanted to marry her like that. I wanted to be Kevin Costner. I want to be the bodyguard.
I've been talking about Kevin Costner a lot lately. I have been because he's in Yellowstone right now. Have you seen Yellowstone?
I haven't. I don't have Netflix.
No. It's not on Netflix. It's on Peacock.
I don't have any of those things.
It's
Fuck is Peacock?
I don't know.
Peacock. It's
I've
so it's
never
Do they
heard
have it
of
on DVD?
negative Ghostwriter. NBC is doing their own.
Is there VHS?
It's own right. It's doing its own streaming thing. So they are doing all of their stuff from NBC, and so they got Yellowstone on there, and it's Kevin Costner, and I love Kevin Costner very much. When I was in 3rd grade, I was telling everyone that he
Waterworld.
was no. It
Robin
was
Hood.
no Robin Hood. Yes, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with
Come on,
Christian
that's a badass
Slater.
movie.
Oh my God, that was just a great
Morgan
movie.
Freeman.
Right?
Morgan
Freeman.
Yo,
It
that's
was
a good
fantastic.
movie. It's a real good
Anywho,
movie.
I told
I like
everyone.
his baseball movies better.
Oh yes, Field of Dreams, right?
Yeah.
But I told everyone
Love
about
of the game.
like my teacher in 3rd grade. Like Kevin Costner was my boyfriend. Mind you, Kevin Costner's like the age of my father,
Really?
and everyone is very
Okay.
concerned about me. And I've always liked older men. I'm not gonna lie.
Well.
I mean, let's look at my track record. I love older guys.
So Sam, how relevant is the meme "Play Freebird"?
Oh God.
How relevant is it? Like, how many times do you get asked to play Freebird?
Somebody, I feel like you can't play at least like 3 shows without hearing somebody say that.
And they mean it, right?
No, I don't think,
messing
I
with
think
you.
it's more of a joke.
They're
It's more of
messing
an
with you.
endearing
Okay.
joke, and I
Okay.
usually answer with, you probably heard the typical like, "Oh, I'll give you a free bird."
No, I haven't seen that. I like
like
that.
you know, that's usually how you kind of
Jesus.
deal with
Yeah.
that situation.
I like that. That's
It's interesting because in the cover realm's a whole different realm than the. I have a different respect now that I'm a cover musician as well as like
Yeah.
I was always an original musician, but like so like when people ask for like a request when they go like Journey or
Oh, yeah.
or you know
Yeah.
like Skinnerd, like they're asking for one song. They're not
Right,
asking.
right,
They don't
right.
want the whole catalog. They're not like
No.
the lights go
No.
down the city, Journey. Like
No.
they, you know what they want,
Right.
but they'll specify the song.
Yeah.
So they'll be like Freebird, that's Skinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll be Freebird or whatever. You know what I mean? So like that's where you quickly learn to decipher like people.
Yeah.
When they
So
say,
if they say a
if
band,
they say the
name-
Police, like I probably want they probably want Roxanne.
Yeah.
Probably want, you know what I mean?
Roxanne.
what you should do? Gimme
The Guess Who.
The Guess Who.
The Guess Who.
Okay.
American Woman.
When someone says Skinner,
No.
do the give me. Isn't it give me 3 steps? Is that Skinner? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. You should sing that one.
Well, that was yeah.
Yeah, because no one would ever expect that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
It's a good song.
What
And that's a
song-
great song.
What song
Yeah.
do you perform that you know that gives your audience chills?
Chills.
I mean chills.
Chills.
Oh, man.
Because example, Love Dub. So Sarah performs a Lady Gaga song. The one with Lady Gaga and the other guy, Bradley Cooper.
Shallows.
Thank you.
Oh,
That song.
I heard that last night for the first time.
When she performed it, her voice just
She's
hits volumes. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
what song do you think that gives
Well, I guess it depends. Like there's just like
other than Pony?
I wouldn't say yeah, I wouldn't say like chills per se, but I mean as far as like what resonates.
Yes.
Like there are certain songs that resonate in different ways. Like for me, anytime I play Earth, Wind and Fire, September,
Mhm.
like that's just like people are like, yeah, like just gets people in the zone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's songs that catch people off guard, like they don't expect it, like but when they hear like the chorus to Kiss on My List by Hall & Oates, like they're just like they're all in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the ultimate song, I mean, as far as just I always end with the same 2 songs, and I end with second to last is Friends in Low Places.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't like country, sorry, but you know, I
Come on,
already
that's
said
the
that once. But
bar
that's
song there.
but that song makes me want to have a beer. The fact
Yeah.
that I don't like country and I like that song,
Yeah.
and I like, you know,
Yeah.
that's usually I'll play that one, and then I will follow it up with what I call catnip for drunk people, which is Sweet Caroline. And Sweet Caroline
Oh,
just across the
right.
board, like
Yeah.
you can't fail with Sweet Caroline. Like you're done after that.
You can't sing it now.
I don't like it.
Well, you can't
No?
sing anymore.
Right. No singing allowed.
Well, with coronavirus, because
Yeah.
touching you, touching me, it just
Oh,
doesn't. Yeah,
no.
I like
it
being
doesn't-
No
touched.
touching.
What?
Jesus Christ. This
well,
is like
this is a
spinning
weird-
down some
Sam,
kind of
I
hole
don't.
right
Sam,
now.
I don't know what's happened. Marianne's usually a lot more tame.
Yeah,
Tame.
no, not today.
She is a
sounds like she
Sam
needs to
here.
be tamed
Sam
today.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Needs to be tamed. All right.
How about Jolene?
Jeez,
I love Jolene, and I had a
Uh,
performer,
Who was that?
Nadine.
Nadine.
Nadine from Syracuse.
Yeah, she was great.
So what's funny was there was one time, it was Portia's weekend, it was her birthday, and Nadine pulled Portia off to the side, and she helped Portia, like, can you sing the chorus to Jolene? And so I have a recording of
She
that.
took her in the hallway and coached her how to do it.
Yes.
It was cool.
And Portia delivered. I'm
She
telling you,
nailed
she
it.
delivered. She nailed it. She
It was
did
neat.
super cute. She had like a plaid shirt.
This
she
was
had
like
braids. This was a
2
couple
years
it was a
ago. At
couple years
least.
ago.
She
It
was
a
like
couple years ago. Yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah. And she sang. There was an audience. There wasn't like extreme, but it was a good audience, and she did it and she nailed it. But Jolene, to me, that I just love that song. I didn't know about that song until maybe recently. But have you ever done that song before?
No, I have not. Because that would be a country song. That would be
Bro.
Dolly Parton, right?
Bro,
Yes.
bro,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
bro. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good. It's good. It's good.
I was gonna learn Crazy Patsy Cline. That was gonna be my next like
It's a good song.
pseudo.
Before you do
country
that,
song.
you should do Jolene. Before you do that.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna learn a Steely Dan song too.
Mm.
I don't know. I got a list of stuff. I also don't know enough crooner songs like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. And I have a really good voice for that too.
That would be fantastic.
So I got a list of like a bunch of artists that I want to like cross off. Beach Boys, like I can't believe I don't know a Beach Boys song yet.
Which
Like,
one would you want to perform?
by Beach Boys?
Mhm.
I would go off something off Pet Sounds for sure because that's one of the greatest albums ever made.
Don't they have California?
I think. Well, that's good too, but that's
California Dreaming is.
What's
Or
the
no, they
Christmas
do-
song?
they
He
do-
was
Beach
singing
Boys
California
sings?
Girls. I think is what he was
or
saying.
Surfing USA?
No, I think they
Surfing-
did.
those are older.
California
both of
Dreaming's really good, but I think they did a.
That's
cover
Mamas
of
and
that.
Papas.
Christmas
But I
song,
think
right?
Beach Boys did California
They did?
Dreaming.
Isn't
I
that the
believe
Beach Boys?
so.
I don't know.
I thought-
Wham.
No, but
I do
I
Wham.
could be
You do
wrong.
Wham.
I do
You Wham.
Jitterbug, bro. I rock that.
I'm part of this group. We like this band called Gaelic Storm,
Mhm.
and it's this great, Irish rock band. And they have this group of like their fan club kind of, and they've got a Facebook group, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, I made it up until today, and then I got whammed." And getting whammed is like this thing that everybody in the group is avoiding, trying not to hear the song "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Oh god.
I haven't even heard that song yet.
What?
I haven't. Not this
I
year.
avoid going places where they play Christmas music.
I've
If I hear
heard it.
Christmas music on, I'm just gonna turn around and leave.
I think Sam should try to cover Mariah
Mariah
Carey's
Carey's-
Christmas.
People have asked for that.
Have they
That is
really?
probably if I was to
Great
say
song.
like
It's a
the
great
most
song.
popular Christmas request is always
It's a
Mariah
great
Carey.
song.
Really?
For real.
Have you ever tried it?
I haven't.
That
Sure I
would be
could.
interesting.
I like Mariah Carey.
What would you rather do
MC.
if you could decide? Would you rather play your own or would you rather cover?
I'd rather play my own.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out and play my own, but whoring myself by playing other people's music seems to be making an okay living.
Yeah.
You have to do.
Pre-corona.
You have to do a balance.
People like to be able to sing along.
Yes.
I like to hear
Well, I'd like
people's
to-
original stuff.
I'd like to travel. I'd really like to get out. That's my goal for the future personally is to be able to like leave when it gets slow
Mhm.
and go on tour.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
That's my goal is
Yeah.
to travel half the year and then stay here half the year.
Would you go international?
Oh yeah, if I could, but I don't know if I'll ever fly again, to be honest. Like with this whole
I would
scenario.
rather.
Because of the
fly.
chemtrails?
No, because of
Okay, that's it.
other things that seem to be enclosing into our society.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just
like,
picking on you.
It's Rare can go on tour with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go.
That'd be fun.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I could haul some gear, I guess, if I had to. But I was thinking I'd more just drink.
I'll be your body man.
Yeah.
Your body man.
What do you?
Bodyguard.
What's a
Bodyguard?
body
Yeah.
man?
Body man.
Body
Like-
man.
That
Yeah.
sounds.
I'll
That
be
sounds
your
Like,
body man.
I'll stand there, like I'll walk, like behind you, and if anybody tries to touch you, I'll just kind of push them away.
You're his body man, though. You're
Yeah.
not his bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
No, you're
It's-
body man.
Well,
That's
it's like
really
body
I'll
man.
be
Like,
your-
it's non-committal. Like, if you're like,
different. I won't
guarded.
guard you, but I got your body,
like
man.
yo, for the most part, I got you. But if you're dead, you die. You die.
Someone pulls out a gun,
Can't
you're on
blame
your
me.
own, but I'm here. So, yeah, body man.
If somebody pulls out a gun, I'm not gonna take a bullet, but I will tackle the guy
Yeah.
I'll-
After he shoots you, he's
as
done.
fast as I
Yeah,
can.
don't worry. He's we won't let him shoot anyone else. Sam.
I appreciate that, Body Man.
Body Man.
Body Man.
We write a song
Be like
called
Kevin
Body
Costner.
Man. Now Sam Police.
I'm pretty
Phil.
sure. I don't think I just made that term up. I think that exists.
Maybe.
right? Isn't
Well,
that
Sam's
like a
gonna
thing?
write you a song.
All right.
So
Do you do any like funny songs?
Don't really.
What's a funny song? Like Weird Al?
No, not like. I don't mean like parody songs. I mean like I don't know. Like Tenacious D has like kind of funny songs.
I mean, I make up songs with the kids on the fly. Sometimes we'll just like goof around, but it's nothing that I would record. It was just having fun. you know?
Yeah,
I'll let them
Yes.
kind of like write the verses.
you like Adam Sandler.
Some.
Whoopity doo.
So something I wanted to get to. What do you think of kids that go to school for music? Is that something you wish you did? Like
Well, I still want to go technically to school for music. Like I still want to learn theory and learn I actually would like to learn how to play piano properly. I learned when I was a kid, I started with piano, but I never learned how to read. Like I would just pick up by
It's hard.
ear. Everything
Yeah.
is ear. And
Yeah.
my sister, she's more the left brain, and so she was like younger than me, but she just
Nailed it.
ascended, you know, and I just was like, I quit.
I'm
So then I picked up the guitar and started learning like Nirvana and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And just I pretty much self-taught, you know, with everything that I do. But I would like to learn more technically. Yeah. I mean,
you think that would have
I think
have helped you?
I think it would help me.
Yeah.
Because it would be ideally, I think I could make a living composing instrumental music for people. I think there's podcasts, there's all kinds of film, all kinds of things. I know people that do it.
Yeah.
I've been paid. I scored a whole documentary for somebody.
Wow.
But if I could get more into that and like really educate myself to further that would be probably one of the next things I would do for the longevity factor of staying in music as an old man, if you would, you know what I mean? So
We're getting older.
When you're not able to do the power slide anymore.
yeah, when that's over, you know.
Well, you just see these a lot of kids that I went to school with. You know, they were big in music and they went to college, and we talk about this all the time. You know, you put so much money into these degrees, and half the time, you know, a lot of people don't use them or they don't pan out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if I know a lot of them didn't do it. Maybe a couple made it through and did something with it, but it seems like a tough career or tough.
Oh, music's a real tough career.
And
like,
I mean, and it's hard because what do you transition to if it doesn't? I mean, you went to school for like music
most
philosophy
people
or something like
tend
that.
to work a different job and like just do music as a passion. If you're like a musician,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different jobs in like the music industry. I mean, you
Okay.
can be a journalist, you can be, you know, an A&R or some sort of, but that's even really hard to get into.
Okay.
Like I know people that do that. Tour managing, there's like a lot of my friends are people that make their living off of touring, where I'm a sound guy in front of a house, or I'm a tour manager, stuff like that.
Cool.
Body man.
Body Man.
Body Man.
That's up and coming.
I can't wait for this song.
Body Man.
I can't wait for the Body Man
It's like
song.
a new band
Are
called
you going
Body
to
Man.
be in the music video? God, I hope so.
I have to be, I guess.
You have to wear pomade though.
Hey,
Yes.
I do need some people in an upcoming music video.
There we
No.
go.
You're
I'm
good,
down.
Phil. You ready?
If y'all want to be a part of that.
What do we have to do?
It actually doesn't take
product.
much. It's really just need people to walk down some stairs.
Oh,
No,
I just need
I'm
bodies.
great at-
people
I'm
to
pretty
walk.
good at walking.
I'm great at walking.
You are a good walker.
I think I'm pretty good.
I'm not
walker.
supposed to be in this state, so I can't be on video.
Do you guys know Eric Hollenbeck?
Eric?
You know Eric,
I know Eric
right?
well.
I
Yeah.
know that
He's doing
name.
my next video.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh well, Eric
He's awesome.
has been he's gone to the Indie Film Festival. He's
Oh yeah.
dude's legit, and he actually just lives. I mean, right outside of Watkins, really.
Really?
Mhm.
And he does. Well, I first met him when Seneca Lake Beer Company opened. It was a long while ago, and you would never know that. I mean, that guy does any. He's very modest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you wouldn't know. I mean, you would never know what he did or who he was, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, his wife, fiance, I don't know, wife.
Yeah.
It's like she starts telling me about. It. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He does that shit, and then I follow him on Facebook. I'm like, oh, he's legit. Yeah, yeah, he's no joke. So
Yeah, IMDb him, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
you.
Cool.
That's gonna be cool.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be, you guys can be in that if you want.
I love walking. I just want to walk.
You can call me Christopher because I'm walking.
Oh!
Okay. All right. right.
That's fantastic.
That's all I got.
All
Bad,
right, deer
bad
hunter.
dad jokes. I think we should. Yeah, deer hunting. By the way, ends today
Yeah.
for rifles.
I
so
don't know
Lester.
if I'm gonna get to the Lauren
Are
time
you
with you
getting any
guys
deer?
or not.
You gonna go sit?
I may. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I got
might,
stunk.
I
So
might try to come for one and then go real quick.
all right,
Yeah.
we should
Um,
probably do that. You got anything else you want to promote? Talk about?
Well, I mean, if I'll just mention it because I don't think I gave a website, but so Slave to Servant, TWO Servant, .com/store. There's a pre-order. You can get a poster, sticker, and a CD for $12.99, and it will be shipped to you in January. So that's it doesn't have that song that you just played, but it has a bunch of other. It's like 16 songs. So
Okay.
Wow.
if you want to support local artistry, feel free to do that. And then I got another record that I'm working on releasing. Like I said, the one with that Never Greener song on it.
Mhm.
That one will be coming out. Right now, we're tentatively looking at summer for a vinyl and CD release, and just kind of depends on what happens in the world. I'm surprised we didn't get
Yeah.
into some crazy talk today because you and I have had talked about very interesting things.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you about Brexit, but
oh, look
you
at
know,
you.
what's it? That was actually the first thing I was gonna say. I had it all planned out last night. I was like, when he comes on,
It's-
and as soon as I hit the live button, I'm gonna say, all right. Well, I wanted to ask you what your
Well,
thoughts are
well,
on the Brexit.
I'm not in a rush. You guys can bring it up.
Well, it's probably, I mean, it's your 1 year anniversary, so we kind of want to just celebrate and not get into crazy shit. But yeah, no, I mean, there's just, yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I love,
Yeah.
like just talking about society is so weird. You know what I mean?
You think so?
is.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's great.
That doesn't mean it's not great.
It's just weird.
It's,
It
just-
is. Yeah.
it's the
weird.
it's the greatest time to be living right now.
It is the
And-
best time
and
that there's
the
ever been. other
2020,
than
you think?
2020
Or
maybe.
2019?
And the weirdest-
This is probably like a little. I don't know.
I say 2019. We might want to kick it back a year. That's
2019
probably
was
the best
might have
time.
awesome.
been superior to 2020.
The business was booming.
Yeah, dude, it
I
was
mean-
killing.
2019 was good.
Everyone was saying
Really
the
good.
economy wasn't good, and then you're looking at your point of sale system, and when you're in our business,
It wasn't good for the powers that be.
They were saying it was
Sure.
fake. They were
Yeah.
saying it was fake.
but the thing,
What is
and
all fake?
you can tell how well the economy is doing by your average sale number. So
Yeah.
my average sale jumped up like $10 or $15 per sale. So you're like, whoa, I mean, that's big that people are comfortable enough to buy another drink or buy something else. So yeah, 2019 was pretty killer.
2019,
So,
I actually
Yeah.
visited your place a lot more. I can't get to this place at
Yeah.
all. It's hard.
yeah. Well, yeah. Who the hell closes it down so early? That was wrong. Somebody that doesn't like money.
Somebody-
Look at Philly's like,
And
yep.
What's the name of your podcast from
Oh, my
the
old
old
podcast?
days, so that we can look
I've
it
never,
up?
I've never disclosed
Or
that.
you don't
Oh,
want
you
to. You don't want to.
I mean, I don't care.
you
That's
don't
fine.
have to.
Well, so it was from a Christian perspective. So it was we were called God's Property Radio. And there's a YouTube channel called God's Property Radio, and you can go listen to all the old podcasts if you want still.
Cool.
But,
Cool.
yeah, it's crazy shit.
Is that something? So it came from like a religious kind of.
It came from a spiritual, like we interviewed a lot of Christians
Mhm.
who had these views, but some of them didn't. Some weren't Christians.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that's something. I mean, that's part of my faith. Like, I
Yeah.
guess I'm from a Christian background. I mean,
Cool.
That's a complex topic too.
Yeah, that's something
where
we've
I
never
sit with
touched
that
on.
too. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't attend a church. I don't know. There's a lot to that. So I talk about it in my music a little bit. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I'm
We're-
looking forward to
We're gonna have to bring
listening.
Sam back. 'Cause I feel
Yeah.
like there's
Well, I
a
think-
lot of
Would you-
things
yeah.
one
Yeah.
show doesn't do.
No.
for him.
Definitely
Yeah.
want to have you back sometime if you're
Always.
willing,
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot going on these days. So as I said, so
and then we can get into the weeds on some of that other
We
stuff.
should
It's-
do
you're an
also brush
interesting
up
guy.
on the Brexit thing. That's been a long thing though.
know.
Like that's like from like
I know.
So I was still podcasting when that was going down. That was like 2015, 2016, somewhere. 2015.
15
is
or
when
16.
it started. I feel
yeah,
like Brexit.
yeah. They had the vote about 4 years
So
ago.
I left podcasting right when like the flat Earth thing came out. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like perfect. I was like, all right.
Should we
I'm good.
get Alex Jones to come on with him? Do you think would that be worth it?
No,
No.
no.
Why not?
Sam's way more interesting than Alex Jones.
No, but both
Oh.
of them together. It'd be.
It could be a good back and
You
forth.
guys know Alex?
we pretend we know everybody.
you don't know Alex?
we talk to
Call
Governor.
him Al.
We talked to Governor Cuomo. Phil once didn't physically threaten him, but
I-
sternly talk
just,
to
you
Cuomo.
know, I like to address him directly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we pretend we know a lot of people that we don't.
We
Yeah.
know.
Oh, we do. Sorry.
You name drop him at the bar.
Phil's
Phil likes to poke the bear.
Phil's got a hit on him
Several, yeah.
from the
Really?
Russian mafia.
Oh,
Nice.
on Phil.
The Russian mafia is
How
really...
about the Amish mafia? They gonna
Not
No.
yet.
No,
Not
I've
yet.
got no beef with them right now.
So
They're mutual friends.
Phil can't tell you on air because he's actually probably got a hit on him. So
Yeah,
he's gonna
the
be
Clintons
off air.
too, I think so.
Arkansas? That's what they call it in Arkansas when people just kill themselves. It's
Yes.
Arkansas.
Well, I think, was it last week on the podcast, or was it that I told everybody that I'm not going to suicide myself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
it's
Phil
Phil
will not suicide
I'm not going to
himself.
suicide myself. So
if something
You're not the type
happens.
of person to do that.
no, I'm not.
Right. That's
You're
no.
what
really
we're
not.
saying. So
I don't know what that kind of
when
person
the-
is,
when
but,
the
but
Russians
like
come
if
for
it
him-
looks like I've committed suicide, I
You know, it's-
didn't. I promise you, I did
You know what's
not.
interesting about saying something like the Russians or like the Chinese or whoever we're scared of, like
Yeah.
that we would go to war with or
The
that would
boogeyman.
take over our country.
Yeah.
Like my favorite part about just like a statement like that is that the monetary system that controls the Federal Reserve, that is a central bank all around the world, with the exception of two countries, which just so happen to be our enemies.
Mhm.
But Russia and China are also owned by those central banks. So if we were to go to war with China or Russia, like literally the bank is funding both sides of the war.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
and making
Like think about
billions
how
and billions of dollars.
So
how
the-
disturbing is that?
That's really
The thing with
stupid.
Phil is his actually isn't the country, but it's Russian people. So
yeah, no,
that's why we're saying
like
Russians.
specific.
They're
very
Russian
specific.
people. So
Yeah, I'm not talking about a boogeyman. I'm
yeah.
talking
No,
about
he's talking about
specific
people.
individuals.
You'll hear the story off podcast. People.
Yeah.
Russian people want Phil, not Putin. I don't think.
Not yet.
Not Putin.
No, yeah, you're good.
We're good, Putin.
Hilarious.
The KGB won't be looking for
Oh
you.
my
You'll
God.
be.
There is this like throughout history though, in every culture there is this like desire to have a boogeyman,
Oh yeah.
and like the media is like, oh, there's a boogeyman, let's use that one, and it's crazy. They make so much money off that.
It's kind of like sports though. Like you always got to win. Somebody's got to like you have to have this like we all have this like tendency. Like that's the thing about communism. It kind of ignores this like fight that we all have. It's like no, we all
Right.
want peace, but no, we don't.
No,
we
we
all
don't.
want to like get pissed off at
We
each
want
other
to-
and be like, "You're on that fucking team,
Yeah.
bitch." And then like you know what I mean. We want to be prejudiced.
Peace-
Ultimately, like that's what it like, kind of.
and you're kind of
Peace is boring.
you're kind of against nationalism, right? Am I using the right word?
What do you mean? I'm not against nationalism. I love nationalism.
Where because you don't.
I think you should be proud of your country.
Oh, you do. Okay, I thought we had to talk. I might
Or,
be wrong.
yeah, I'm proud of my country. I don't care if you're proud of it, but I'm proud of it.
But you shouldn't
Mostly,
think you
not-
shouldn't
not
think that
entirely.
you're better. Your country's better and root against other countries. I think we had to talk about it one night. We were drunk, so that helps.
That makes things a little bit more
I don't
different.
think you should root against anybody.
Right.
I mean, I've got friends who I've got a friend who kind of opened my eyes to that a little bit back in the early 2000s when we had a lot going on with Iran,
Mm.
and she's from Iran and a nice human being, and she's like, actually, we've got this beautiful, vibrant culture, and we're all being oppressed by our government, and our government is filled with assholes who like just are trying to stir stuff up, but essentially like that's not us. And like when you get down to the basic level, everywhere around the world, it's people. Everywhere you go, it's just they're people. They're the same. They have the same like fears.
It's
and
interesting
desires.
you bringing up Iran because Iran is one of the two countries that doesn't have a central bank.
Mhm.
Same with North Korea.
Mhm. Well, yeah.
And so we're made to like kind of make those people the boogeymen themselves,
Right.
The
because
axis of evil.
they haven't entered the whole world conglomerate. So like we like just like we went into Libya and killed Gaddafi, and under Obama, who's so different than Bush and his war
Right.
on terror and the
Yeah.
Patriot Act. I mean, it's like all like I don't know. It just feels like I don't know. How are we any different? Like how are
Right.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
Like you really want to like look in the mirror.
Well,
you know?
we've been the bad guy a lot. So
Really?
I mean,
Somebody
That's
was
true.
somebody was trying to make
I
an
don't know.
argument that and I somebody was trying to make an argument that capitalism led to belligerence, and then on the other side there was this, you know, somebody was trying to make the argument that, oh no, because we're America is capitalist, and also they were trying to say that we weren't belligerent. I'm like, I think you're probably making the wrong argument because we're not capitalist, and we've probably we've been in wars constantly since our founding. So,
but
True statement.
we thrive under capitalism, though.
No, we don't have capitalism.
We don't have capital because capital means you literally can own things. We continually have to pay taxes on them.
Yes.
You don't own anything here.
Right.
Yes.
True.
We don't have capitalism. We have some version of crony capitalism.
Yeah.
Where in real capitalism you could fail. We wouldn't bail out JP Morgan.
Well, small businesses fail.
We wouldn't have.
Preach it.
But small businesses.
Oh, small
fail.
businesses, yeah, but they're
small.
allowed to, yeah.
They're small.
But like Walmart wouldn't be able to have their employees get welfare, and then because they would have to actually pay their employees, or their employees would be starving,
Right.
if it was capitalism.
But at the end of the day, as a small business, you do pay for the welfare. That's what you pay into. So I imagine big companies are paying into as
how
well.
Capitalism works. Capitalism, you create something, you sell it, you get the profit from it. We've got all these regulations and things that, like, look at Big Pharma, right? So Big Pharma, it's like you've got these major corporations. Well, look at marijuana, right? And how that fits with Big Pharma.
Right.
They make it so that it's impossible for a small business to get started in marijuana. And they make it so that those big businesses can. So that's not capitalism.
Yeah, Phil touched on something real quick that was genius. I've never thought about, and he was saying that pharmaceutical companies and big companies want more regulations, and I didn't ever think of it, because he was saying this: the more
people think they don't want,
the more
taxing,
taxing,
this is going to hurt
the
them.
more taxing, and the harder it is to meet their regulation. They're winning because they can meet it where the smaller guys can't meet it.
Right.
And I've never thought of that ever.
That's government as a whole. Government is a business.
Yeah.
This is a system of commerce.
So you're talking like Walmart loves when you have to have a higher buy-in to get into a company like them, because they can afford it. You can.
And they can stay open during a pandemic.
Phil and I were trying to start a marijuana growing company. Well, I was going to start it with my father.
How's that going?
And Phil was going to do all of our plant breeding and stuff like that. And the buy-in's $200,000 just to get a license. So it's like, well, that's not going to happen. So
$200,000. Well, holy shit.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get a federal loan for that. Like, you're not going to get, you can't get a loan because they're from an insured bank.
And that's before you're buying your equipment and buying all your other bullshit. So you're just talking, distilling used to be like that. It was $10,000 to get a distillery license compared to a brewery that was like $500. So they made distilling like, oh, well, guess you can't do it because you don't have $10,000 for a license. So
that's not fair at all. That's really.
But they changed it. They changed it. Now that it's more affordable. But it took a lot of lobbying, and people had to pay a lot of lawyers and lobbyists to make it lower for everyone else. So.
But then you have the whole like health issue. Everything's like it's like secondary. Like they blame things on people's well-being and health, like marijuana, war on drugs. Like holy shit! Like
when it's really just like your diet.
They don't give
a
fuck about people.
No, they really
like. Let's
don't.
just face it. Like we have a pandemic going on, right? This pandemic, and apparently the government's super concerned about your health.
Yeah.
Yet your bread has bromine in it, and there's fluoride in your water.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of problems with our food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't buy it. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand how we can have I do and I don't, right? We've got this ongoing declared emergency for 9 months
For the flu.
and they're just like, hey, you know what? We can, by the way, control every aspect of your life. And all of a sudden, like, who gave them that power? We didn't consent to them having that power.
Is that New Zealand thing bullshit that I've been reading?
What about
the people that are refusing to get the vaccine? They were talking about like putting like unvaccinated people in like a camp if they refused it. I was reading a thing on. I don't know how true it was.
It seems imprudent to put them in a camp together, and
it seems crazy.
I think what's going to happen is like there will be a point, like, and what will happen is like with the vaccine, probably it'll be like linked with technology so they can monitor like your vitals, your brainwaves, everything to make sure that you don't have a virus before you even go into like a grocery store or whatever. Like that's like what they're talking about. There's like a Microsoft patent on some of this technology. I don't know if you ever saw that Bill Gates had that little
I heard about
patent
that.
that went down before the coronavirus.
Are you gonna put the chip in your head?
I'm not getting any chip.
No.
But I think that ultimately, like I think
You hear that, Bill?
they're not going to make anybody get it. What they're going to do is they're going to make it impossible for you to make a living without it.
They're going
How
to
does
create
that make
different
sense?
classes of people.
Yeah.
Well, now
There you go.
I see on the horizon is they're going to hide those checks behind the vaccine. I imagine you'll get paid to get the vaccine. I bet
People do
I
things
don't
for
think so.
money. That makes
to
sense.
get your stimulus check.
Yep.
What they're going to do is they're going to be like,
Oh, yeah.
if you take the vaccine, you get the check. But if you're not going to help society, we're not going to give you money. I can see it.
Well,
I
think
can
about-
see him doing it.
I've been thinking about because my parents are like at that.
They don't
age
have to
where
pay.
they're
They'll
like,
just do it.
my parents are at that age where like they're gonna like take their Social Security at some point soon. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that will probably be something that will be held over your head too, because that's a government thing. So like it'll be like, well, you can't get your benefits anymore if you don't,
Get vaccinated.
etc.
And that's what I was thinking with the stimulus check. Because how quick are most people? I mean, a lot of people, $1,500. I knew a lot of people that were like jumping for joy for it, and I'm like, I mean, we were doing okay. You were doing well down in the city. It's not like you were dying to have it. I wasn't dying to have it, but
there's
for some
who
people,
lost jobs,
they
though.
they really needed it,
Yeah.
and they had to have it. So I imagine holding $1,500 over someone's head to get vaccinated would do it. I mean, lots of people would do it.
So are
for
we
that.
saying we would be shocked if it doesn't happen?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's just a guess. I mean,
don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You'll get
I
this.
don't see it.
So you think
I don't
that
think
we're
that's
going
gonna
to return back to the way things were?
No chance. No.
No chance.
When the
Amen.
government
Same.
takes more power,
Yeah.
there's very small chance of
No way.
them
We're not
giving
going
any of
back.
it back. No.
This is what they call a new normal. Or whatever you want.
And
There
hopefully
is.
what it does is it drives people to open their eyes about what power
what we're giving up.
they have. Yeah.
What little we have left.
Yeah. So
Is there a last straw, the final straw before society fights back before the people?
I don't
Sure
think
there
it's
is.
ever going to get hot here. I don't think it's ever going to get hot. People
No.
are always like, oh, well, what, like, how much more of this is going to go on before the shooting starts? And it's like, the shooting's not going to start. There's not going to be
No.
shooting.
I don't think so
Um,
either.
There's going to be financial manipulation, like you said. But when it comes down to it, if you look at what they've done lately, they've found out that all they have to do is say it on CNN and tell everybody, okay, look, it doesn't matter what you want. This is what you're doing. Like they don't have to.
We'll attack each other in the
They don't.
process too.
Yeah, exactly. They'll turn half of us against the other half of us because that's what
Divide
they
and
like to do.
conquer.
That is exactly what's been going on.
Yeah.
with that.
It's been going on
It's
for
been shaming.
I just-
each
I-
other.
centuries.
Did you see? And I hate to bring this up because I know we don't like bringing up race on this.
What's
But-
a race?
or you know,
It's a good
No, I'm
question.
just there's a one race. There's
yeah,
a human
or
race.
not
there
race.
are no races.
I mean, what
there are ethnicities.
ethnicities? There we go.
and different
Uh,
colors and shades. Of
So the Black Lives Matter movement posted a thing I seen
Soros.
saying that they haven't been contacted by Biden or Harris in like since the whole thing started, and they were expecting to be in contact, and part of it that's why they were all pushing for it. It's so I don't know how much is going to change compared to what we've been seeing, you know, what they thought was going to change.
Well, that is interesting.
They
Yeah.
said so when
Oh, you've seen this.
yeah
Oh,
yeah. So when Biden and Harris won, they posted a thing that said, once again, Black people, especially Black women, have saved the United States. We showed up in huge numbers to turn this country around, yada, yada, yada. Congratulations, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We endured many obstacles in casting our ballots, but we never wavered in our focus. And Black Lives Matter. And then flashback to a couple days ago. On the night of the Biden-Harris victory, Black Lives Matter sent a letter requesting a meeting. It has been 32 days since we've requested a meeting with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We've heard no response.
And they're not going to.
They're not going to.
It was
They don't care about them.
they-
They put more Black people in jail than anybody in this
Kamala
country.
Harris has. Yeah.
Well, and
she's horrible.
using his crime laws.
I can't stand that.
Using his crime laws. And not, I don't know. I can't get over the Patriot Act. You know,
Oh, God,
like
dude. It's the worst.
but even before that, I mean, the two of them have locked up a lot of people, especially black people.
Yeah, I knew. We talked about this. We knew, and we didn't really talk about it on air as much as we did alone. But we were saying, you know, they're rallying these people, and they're not going to deliver. And at the end, in 4 years, they're going to forget, and they're going to reelect them. You know, it's like I don't know how they forget.
Like those protests were just there were Biden rallies. You know, you had Trump rallies in the stadiums, and you had Biden rallies on the streets.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
That's what it was.
I don't think you'll see. They're not going to deliver on half the stuff they said they will.
They utilize anything that's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
It just brings controversy and keeps people distracted. You know what I mean? And at some point, like, it's just like funny, like feminism or whatever, like they'll use like to divide. Like, and I'm not like a chauvinist. Like, I'm not a feminist either. Like, I'm not either of those things.
You have to choose.
Right. That's the other thing. It's like if I choose not to do something, if I choose not to participate in something, all of a sudden I'm anti. Like, no, like you go for it. Like, you make your own.
That's what Rush
decision.
says.
Silence is violence. Remember that big thing? If you're silent about
right,
what's going on, you're
yes.
being violent. So you had to speak up, or you were the problem. And it's like, no, that's not how this works.
If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
I guess so. That's
no, that's true. I've seen families that have gone down that road where it hinders their relationship right now, and it's really extremely sad how everything has been affecting everyone on a whole. I don't even know how to fix that though, because everyone just can't. Everyone's angry. They're so fucking pissed right now.
Yeah. It's because the media is doing a really good job, and they've got everybody sitting at home so that they can read Facebook and watch the news. And
my favorite thing is that like all of our news is subcontracted through wire networks, and there's 2 wire networks. There's Reuters and Associated Press, and Reuters owns Associated Press. So that's level playing field too.
there you go.
Right.
Sam's really hitting
Who
on
owns
it
that?
today.
Wow.
is that Rupert Murdoch? Who owns that?
Mm-hmm.
So you really believe all this Soros stuff? You really believe
Yeah.
he's behind all that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I think that both there's 2 wings, right? A right wing and a left wing, right?
No,
But they're the same bird.
they're the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I think that everybody falls for that ruse. I think there's a very small percentage of people, maybe 10%, that get to the next level of like, oh yeah, there's power moves going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different thing than this
In
this
this year's,
constructed team thing,
What-
right? Red team, blue team.
Do you believe in the Soros thing? Do you believe he's behind a lot of this?
yeah,
Okay, I just didn't know. We've never talked about it, so I didn't know how you thought. Because you're usually a more
somewhat.
conservative on stuff like this. Yeah.
Well, what he said, I don't even think that there's a right and left wing at all.
Same.
They're just the same. And in this last election, I think there were about 1.2% of people that rejected that.
Mm-hmm.
So out of Penn Yan, that would be
So you
200
Do you
people.
feel like you elected anyone?
no.
Like, do you really feel like you got a really balanced choice in deciding who is your candidate?
No.
Well,
like that should answer
don't get
something in
Phil
itself.
Going. Don't
That-
get Phil going. We'll never leave.
Okay.
There was another option.
Don't get Phil going.
I
We
voted
will-
for her.
We'll
and
be
I
here
voted
till
for her.
5
Me too.
o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I did.
So are you
I
saying?
voted for a lady.
Sorry, Marion. I just want. Are you saying that all the hate for Trump was made up? Is that what you're thinking? You think?
I think both sides
Oh, yeah.
are horrible.
you don't.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
think-
agree.
Both
I don't
sides
think
are-
Trump's smart enough
They
to hide
had-
behind something.
they
like
had
I
to
think
make-
he's plenty smart.
They had to make them evil. They had to make Biden evil. They had to make Trump evil, so that
They're funded by different conglomerates. Like,
I don't know. Trump is funded by Trump. Really? I mean,
well,
he was.
who rescued him when he went bankrupt? Like, you have to follow the money trail. Like, that's a different
His
story. That's
daddy?
another show.
And he went
but
bankrupt.
that doesn't mean they own him though,
Yeah.
because
People don't-
he doesn't
you
seem
couldn't-
like he
you
gives a
couldn't
shit
buy
about
him.
that. Like he's got the money now. Like
Yeah.
he's the kind of guy that like
doesn't
All right,
seem.
well,
I like the way
thanks.
that you
See you
phrased
later.
it, though. It doesn't seem.
sure.
Okay, and it's kind of funny because it's like what you're talking about is like we're basing everything off of TV screens. Like we're basing everything off of like it's a show.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all
Well,
enter-
that's true.
That's
Yeah.
another thing. News and entertainment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be factual by any stretch. Like,
They
it's
made fun of Obama for being a celebrity, and then they elected an actual celebrity.
That's true. That's
yeah.
very true.
And now we got the vice president that was already in office, like as our president. Like, come
Right.
on,
Mm,
come
that's a
on,
good point.
come on. Like, this is a joke.
I don't know. I mean, it's easy to go one way or the other because, like you're saying, Sam, who really knows what's going on behind the scenes? But I think the thing that people liked about Trump is, even if we want to say it seemed, you can't buy Trump. He's
You could just buy his circle.
yeah, you can buy the people around him, but
They
you
had to go
can't
for
buy
his
him.
circle.
And I mean, that's just so that's why he seemed like the better option, because you thought he was going to drain the swamp, like he said he's gonna show all the bullshit going on. And I mean, did he get rid of some shitty characters in there? Sure. Did he add some? I'm sure he did.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah,
You know
what are
why I
gonna do?
think they hated him and why I liked him a little bit is because he started to open up those blinds just a little bit, and
Oh.
everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like you actually, he sometimes would say things that you're not supposed to say that. And
I thought we talked about this.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, did we? I don't
So some
remember.
things have been exposed and now they're like trying to backpedal and fill that in.
I think it's funny how like you can hate somebody that you've never met.
Right.
Like I've never met Trump and I've never met Biden. I don't hate either of them. I don't
Yeah.
know them. I've never
Right.
talked to them. I mean, I can look at like certain things and go, okay, I trust or I distrust. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't know.
So you don't think, like, and this is going extreme, but like, let's bring up Hitler. You wouldn't say you would have a hate for someone like that?
You have to. So that's a very complex concept because you're talking about who funded Hitler and who was pro Hitler before Hitler kind of broke off. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that America kind of funded. Wall Street funded fascism and Hitler.
Right.
It also funded communism.
Yeah.
So I mean, those things couldn't have floated without the.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
but he was the final hammer. You know,
he was one.
he-
I mean, there's Mao Zedong. There's all kinds of people in
Right.
history. Like, I don't know. This is.
But
So you're
but-
a follow the money kind of guy.
But would you say
that's part of it.
There's
you're
hate
looking
for
for
that,
truth, though.
right? You could say you hate him, right?
So
his
I think
actions?
here's where I separate everything in life. I
Uh-huh.
mean, am I what I do? Do I hate what somebody does? Do I identify as what I do? So I could say like I'm an artist or I'm a performer, but that's like a momentary action that I kind of present, like, and then I'm a father to my kids, or then I'm a whatever. I hate the things that happened under the Hitler regime. Absolutely. I don't know. I never met Hitler. I wasn't in the meetings that funded Hitler. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I'm not praising anything that he did. Hell no.
Right.
But like, do I hate anybody? No, I don't. I choose love over hate. You know what I mean? Like,
Because love works.
and
Obviously, the T-shirt. I mean,
But yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of rage against machine, it's love against the machine.
yeah, I think you got to be able to separate those things. You know, like,
okay.
I don't know, like,
It's so much easier to market
Easy to play
hate,
God.
to hate someone. And Hitler was it, Trump is it, Bush maybe. And it's so much easier just to focus all that hatred and pain to one person
Hate's
rather
big
than
money.
but yeah, it is.
and it only
sells
breeds
than
more
love.
hate.
It does.
Like, it doesn't really. Hate doesn't make love. Like, you know
No.
what I mean?
No.
Like,
What's Martin Luther King? Right?
yeah, absolutely.
It makes a lot of money. You're right. That's
Hate
for sure.
makes a lot of
You
money.
think about, like, you look at LeBron James, like the most loved and hated basketball player, and probably one of the richest men in the world now from being that. You know,
well, he's
so
one of the richest men in the world because he bought a soccer team.
that helps.
But
he's
he
also-
bought Manchester United. And
But he's
made-
also the most famous athlete right now. I mean, I'm sure there can't be. I mean, everyone knows him. If you try to say, hey, name an athlete, Michael Jordan or LeBron, usually, and they're not, basketball's not even that watched. It'd probably be NFL. Really,
Probably be
I would
like
say Kobe Bryant.
no,
really.
it'd be like
Well,
Pele or something. It'd be a soccer player.
in the United States is I should say.
Oh, in the United States, yeah.
yeah.
We don't know soccer players here.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
Football.
I was listening to something the other day. They were talking about soccer. It was a comedian. He was talking about soccer. He's like, yeah, I don't watch soccer with my girlfriend because if I watch basketball, I can be like, hey, don't you wish I was like 6'10"? And she'd be like, no, that's too tall. And if they're watching football, it's like, don't you wish I was like 6'4", 280? She's like, oh no, that's too big. And you watch soccer, it's like, do you wish I was like 5'10" and 6% body fat? It's like,
It's very funny.
honey.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We touched a lot of shit.
Yeah, we got
And there's
we
so
got
much
down a
more.
rabbit hole later.
We did.
Yeah.
It was at the
We'll have to
end.
bring Sam back because he's got some.
Yeah,
You have really
definitely.
good, interesting,
Definitely.
no, interesting
Yeah.
perspectives on things.
Thanks.
And I think it needs to be shared.
We got to the third hour before, well, not 3 hours, but we got past hour 2 before we got into the stuff that was why I invited you here. So I was
Yeah.
we started talking about some of that stuff the other day, and I was like, man, super
I
interesting.
love talking about that kind of stuff.
So next time we'll just talk about that stuff.
Well, we needed an intro.
I will
Sam.
say this,
Ah.
like, and it's something that I touch on some of the lyrics in my record, but like, I think that like with all the divide and conquer and like whether it's these things that seem to matter, like gender and race and whatever, ultimately all that shit's going away. It really doesn't matter because we will be in a post-human state in a number of years. There will be the melding of technology and human, which is transhuman. So like we will be post-human.
So we're all going to be trans.
In some way.
Yeah.
But all those things
Not
don't
me.
matter is what I'm saying. You won't, I'm saying
It's like
wo-
Elon
woman,
Musk.
man,
Elon Musk
and you
is
think
like
about-
all fired up about this. He's working on this.
No, he's against it.
Oh, I thought he was trying to
No,
do it.
he's worried about
It's like Terminator.
sentient. I don't know what he calls it. Like,
Ooh.
you know, he's
Ooh,
really
so much more we could talk
he's
about.
really
Sure.
concerned about technology. He really is. Like, even though he
Yeah.
creates some technology, but he says it's getting too close to
He
home.
doesn't like the fact that the cars that he
Okay.
designs to drive themselves.
Here I
Yeah,
am.
more or less.
Huh.
It's probably what he's saying.
So
Yeah.
if a UFO comes out of the sky tomorrow,
Yeah.
and they go on TV and they go, we created you and all your religions, and we were once you. We evolved into what we are, these ascended beings. What's your response tomorrow?
Fuck.
I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions. You know?
For something like that, if someone, oh my God, I would try to shut that down immediately. I don't want to know that. I don't want to feel that. I
Why?
don't understand that. That scares
Fear.
the shit out of me.
But if it's the truth, then it's the truth. I mean, you can't take it to the bank, right?
But is it
You-
the truth?
yeah,
Right,
yeah, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. You can't take it to the bank. So
You have to be careful.
now, if they can come up, they got some solid ass proof. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Then you're like, well, that's the way it fucking is. I mean, what are you
They'd
gonna
just
do?
be like,
So
didn't you see the pyramids that we built? Like we left those there so
No.
you would know.
No, the Egyptians
Had you not seen
did it.
Ancient Aliens?
Right.
I-
History Channel.
I-
Come on.
I don't think as many people would be concerned with it as people think. I mean,
What if they came down and they looked exactly like the Sphinx?
has everyone learned anything? And we adapt pretty well. We adapt pretty quick.
That is true. Humans are very
But, you know,
adaptable.
if something changed, you just go. You adapt
We're also
to it.
easily manipulated, though.
True.
Mm.
Well,
That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
same
that
thing.
you nailed
So
it
It's
right there.
both.
We are very easily
But-
manipulated.
we survive. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's everyone's goal is to live, to
Yeah.
survive. So I mean, you adapt and you.
Do you
your
think that's
fucking
what happened to the
best, you know?
dinosaurs? Like the aliens came down, we made you, we were you, and dinosaurs like, fuck this, we're peacing out, we're done.
Where'd they go?
They're like, peace out. I don't know. They'll figure it out. They just like, I don't want to do this. T-Rex was like, no way.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think, and we can save it for another time, but I think that's where things are headed is like that's going to be the ultimate like kibosh on society. Is like,
Aliens?
yeah, I think that what they're going to use that. I think it's going to
Oh.
I think it's going to be technology. I think man is going to use technology. Think about your cell phone.
Okay.
Your cell phone was probably made 30 years ago. Like we only get things as it's dispersed out to us. So what I'm saying is that the leaps and bounds of technology, the esotericism of technology, you know, it is a lot farther ahead than we have seen or think. And I think that it will be used to go, oh, there's these beings, these ascended beings, and they'll come down and we'll all just be like, okay, like you're our saviors and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll be under a new government, so to speak.
Do you think?
But I think that it will ultimately be done by man. I don't think it's going to be. I think that it will. I think that if we ever really do come across alien, so to speak, life forms, real ones, I think that will happen way later. I think man's going to use technology to do it first. How's that sound?
Yeah.
I don't
do you
think
think-
people will take it to the bank.
Did you see the monolith thing
Mm-mm.
that was in the news? There's this big, I don't know, there's a monolith
the
that just
desert.
showed up in the desert.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I don't know, maybe aliens. And then like a week later, it disappeared. and then it
Stop
showed up
it.
again someplace else, like in Sweden or something. I don't know where, but
Yeah.
What's a monolith?
Now they're all
it's
over.
just like a
Have
big.
you ever seen?
there's like
this,
6 of them.
2001:
Phil.
Space Odyssey. That's a monolith, isn't it? Like
No.
in Space Odyssey by Kubrick.
You're telling me this thing just showed up in a desert
No,
and then it
people
moved?
put it there. Yeah, it wasn't. It was people put it there because the people that put it there came out and admitted to it, and there's some pictures of people taking it away. So
There he is.
yeah,
It's just it's space.
I was
it's
like,
Space
yeah.
Odyssey, dude. Like
Yes.
that's exactly what happened.
that's what they said. It's from that movie. Like
Exactly.
it's like almost the same
Oh.
thing.
It's like I can put up a big piece of aluminum too. Like it wouldn't even have to be that heavy. You
Yeah.
could,
It got debunked.
There's
as
a lot
they
of
say.
like. There's a lot.
Utah and Romania and California.
Yeah.
There's some weird shit out there. People, and you know what? There's going to be a whole religion founded under this.
Oh,
they're
God,
gonna
no.
They're gonna be people.
Stop.
They're gonna be people
Please.
15 years from now in the future. And they're gonna be like, you remember the monolith?
The-
Like that's real. And here's why you should stop eating Cheerios.
I
Like,
just don't understand how people fall for religions where the people that invented it are still alive. Like that one that what's that one that all the like
Mormon?
Scientology?
Scientology. Yeah.
Like how the
Scientology.
hell do you fall for that? The guy that wrote the book is here. He's right here. Like
Well, you're sitting in the middle of a region that was founded by
Yeah.
living whatever prophets or whatever. I don't know what they consider themselves, but founders of religions, 220 years ago.
Mhm.
Like this whole area, the Mormon religion started here. Jemima Wilkinson, you know all about her.
Right.
so it just has for me. They have to be old enough that you got to be old. You
It
gotta
has to be old timey because
Yeah.
it was easier.
It
'cause
makes-
people were idiots.
It
back then.
makes way more sense that it was old. You can't find it now.
Do you think
I'm not going to
people
allow it?
were just as dumb 200 years ago as they are now?
They would be dumb.
No.
Dumber.
They would be.
No,
No,
way
I think
dumber.
that we were probably smarter.
Smarter.
You
No,
think
absolutely.
smarter?
Yeah, I think so. I
Back
think.
then or now?
Well, I think even like 200 years ago, like people
No.
were smarter.
Very
I think,
uninformed.
well, I think that people used to actually know law. Like in England, like
Yeah.
you knew law, you knew how to like actually. I don't even want to say the word represent because that's represent. That has somebody that actually goes up and represents you. You know what I mean? They would present themselves
Mhm.
in a court of law. They knew law. We don't know shit.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It depends on what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
And we didn't have all this technology, therefore we weren't as lazy minded. Like think of all the things like that.
There we go.
Like look at this. Like I have an iPad that like allows me to like look at the lyrics if I forget.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's my like I'm leaning on this crutch.
Right.
People just memorize shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but,
Like
but here's the thing. Let's go back 200 years to. You could have tried to teach yourself music, but now you can teach yourself music. You know for sure. You have someone you can go on the internet and be coached, and you can learn how to play whatever. I mean, and back in the day, it wasn't. You probably had to go find someone to be like, "Hey, how do I do this?" I mean, I don't know. And where are you going to find this person now? If somebody wanted to open a distillery with zero knowledge on it, all they have to do is go online. And I got a competition.
More
right there.
access to information. You
Yeah.
don't have to be as smart
You-
because you can access
Everyone.
information.
I was listening to a podcast, and they're saying everyone can be. Everyone, you have
an equalizer.
enough knowledge on everything to be able to talk to people about it. I
Right.
mean, you might not be a professional, and you can't touch where other people can, but we can learn enough. Like if we all last night spent time learning about music,
some
to
sort of
ask,
topic to
to
actually,
ask Sam,
Yeah.
and talk to him about, and feel like you're kind of here and he's here. You couldn't do that back in the day. So I mean, that's where I think why
Well, yeah.
we're
I
so
mean,
much
we've
more
got
intelligent.
330 million
You can learn
doctors in the country now, so that's cool.
another language online. I mean, think about it. Like you can just like, oh, I think I want to learn Russian today. It's like
No,
how many,
it's
how many
an
people do you
amazing
know
tool.
want to learn Russian though?
Phil's gonna need to learn it. So
Oh yeah.
sorry, Phil.
I'm gonna need to use it in the gulag to beg for my life. Please spare me.
Oh God. Okay.
I need to
Yeah.
go to the bathroom.
All right. Well,
all right.
You want to wrap up?
can we
Yeah, I
let
think so.
can
We'll wrap
Sam
up.
play us out? Can we play like a song?
Yo,
of his?
hey,
Play him out?
we have another Slave to Servant video with Alien in it. If you want to. go out with,
With
Flying
aliens?
Saucers. It's a cover of the Buchanan Brothers 1947 bluegrass song.
Cool.
When you see those flying saucers, if you look up
Oh my
Slave to Servant
gosh.
Flying Saucers.
Let's have them play us out.
Or you
here.
can play a cover of something.
Whatever you want, Sam. What does
So,
Sam want to do?
Singularity. Let's see. Where do I find that? Is it on? Do I have to?
If you go to my
search
YouTube
it?
channel, you just
I'm on
type
your
in
actual website.
just type in Slave to Servant
Videos.
Flying Saucers.
Flying saucers.
Bam.
Bam.
There it is. Oh, hey,
It's a
that's
fun
cool.
one. It's a fun
Dude,
one.
what are
We
you
filmed that one
wearing?
in
That's sweet. What is that?
big old suit.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That is cool. All right.
All right, let's see.
All right. Well, thanks for having me,
Play
guys.
it out.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
coming on.
It's fun. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
We got to go
Share
down this rabbit hole
screen.
we were on. We got to finish
Front
this.
tab,
Sunset of nice.
Share.
This is delicious, dude.
Thanks, man.
This
Yeah,
is great.
hammer
I really
hammer
wish-
away. There's a lot of it. So.
Really wish you had that eggnog.
I know, me too. That's delicious. It's really good. My father, you'd love my father, Sam. He's crazy. You'll have to meet
I
him.
love crazy people.
Yeah.
For real.
All right. This is. Do you want to intro it?
Slave to Servant. This is a cover of When You See Those Flying Saucers by the Buchanan Brothers in 1947 bluegrass song.
Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Cool.
You'll hear it at the beginning.
You'd better pray to the Lord, and when you see those flying saucers, it may be the coming of the judgment day. It's a sign, there's no doubt, of the trouble that's about. So I say, my friends, you better start to pray. They're a terrifying sight as they fly on day and night. It's a warning that we better mend our ways. You better pray to the Lord. When you see those flying saucers, it may be the coming of the judgment day. Many people think the saucers might be someone's foolish dream, or maybe they were sent down here from Mars. If you just stop and think, you realize just what it means. They're more than atom bombs or falling stars. Though the war I may be through, there's unrest and trouble brewing, and those flying saucers may just be a sign that if peace doesn't come, it will be the end of some. So we beg you, take your running out and die. When you see the saucer fly like a comet through the sky, you should realize the price you have to pay. You better pray to the Lord. When you see those flying saucers, it may be the coming of the judgment day.